What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another day, another episode. Where's my camera? There it is. I was like, what the hell just happened? Good morning, everybody. How's everyone doing? Welcome to the Daily Grind. I'm your host, 30 NSG, and on today's show, we're going to be talking or watching. We're going to watch Force Gaming. He's got a video called A Decade of Bad MMOs, What's Next? So he talks about some MMOs, and we'll watch that. We're going to watch Legendary Drops video on Steam is on a warpath. We're going to talk about Ubisoft. Shareholder plots protest outside of Paris headquarters, accused company of failing to reveal discussions with Microsoft, EA, and other alleged interested in acquiring IPs. We're going to talk about Netflix. Or actually, not Netflix, sorry. We're going to talk about Captain America Brave New World will end its global box office run 1 month out of the theater. And then we're also going to talk about Disney's scales back Snow White Hollywood premiere amongst Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot's controversies. So if you guys like what we do here, we do this Monday through Thursday. We just have conversations, talk about news stories, give you my thoughts and opinions, watch videos. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. We do live streams, uploads, podcasts, shorts. We have multiple channels. We have Nerding with 30. We have 30 and Still Gaming. We have 30 and Still Jamming. If you guys like the music in the head time, that's all AI music. I wrote the music, but the AI created the music. I know a lot of people look at that and go, you didn't do shit. You didn't do shit. If you have watched my shows, if you listen to the music that we have, we literally talk about all that stuff. So if you enjoy those, go check out 30 and Still Jamming. Give it a like on that thing. Follow it. We're going to be uploading more songs. So the playlist that you hear in the morning show will be on over there. If you want to listen to that stuff, while you're in the background, while you're mowing the lawn, doing your homework, whatever, go check it out. Let's see who's in chat. Let me scroll all the way back up. What's going on, Mo? Eclipse, Sarge, Travis, Z, what's going on? Cyber Sword, good morning. Let's see who else. Cyber Sword, what's going on? Water Bear, Jason Marshall, Wonder Rose, good morning. Kylo, good morning. Argus, good morning. Crowded House, Drummond, Bracken, what's going on? Crowded House. You just scroll back up and see what someone's saying. Cybersword says, for the low price of $240, you can walk around and deliver packages for 48 hours before everyone else. Is that Death Stranding 2? $240? You can walk around and deliver packages 48 hours before everyone else. I mean, that sounds amazing. I didn't play the first one. So, all jokes aside, I mean, I looked at it and went, nah, I'm good. I don't need to. And I play some stupid games. I do. Right? I'm playing like movie theater simulator. I'm playing Storage Wars simulator. I'm doing car shopping things. Okay. So no shade given. Drummond says, good morning, 30. I hope you have a great start to your day. I'm lucky I'm number 7 that liked your stream thus far. Oh, thank you very much. 7. That's my favorite number. 7 and 11. But I don't like 7-11. That take that with a grain of salt, whatever. Take that what you will. Uh-oh. YouTube says, YouTube is not receiving enough video to maintain smooth streaming. As such, viewers will experience buffering. Sorry, chat. Don't know what's happening. Clip says that should be the end song every time. That's to get you pumped up for the show. That's why I'm playing a little bit later. That's such a good song. And the best part, Eclipse, is that every time I listen to it, I know it's not Sarge actually singing it, but when I created it, I was like, this is like what I feel like Sarge's inner monologue of his head is when he's like, fuck this shit. You know what I mean? Like he's just angry. But my brother's actually not that angry. But internally he might be, right? So I try to bring that out, put it into the song. I think it's pretty good. Decent homework. Talking about that. Hey, look, there might be somebody out there that goes to school, that watches me, that never ever speaks in chat. They could watch. What are you saying? Could be someone doing some homework. Okay, listening to the music in the background. I don't know. Cybersource says, to be fair, it is the collector's edition. I mean, still, $240. A lot. It's a lot. God says, I'm sorry, but Kojima is easily the most overrated developer ever. I mean, I'm not going to agree or disagree. uh, Kylo says, unfortunately, we don't have Wawa or Bucky's where I'm at. We wanted a Wawa. They just built a 7-Eleven by us, right? We were hoping it was a Wawa, but it lost out. If you guys ever listened to the story I told you about the 7-Eleven that was down the street, that the guy stopped the gas station from being built across him. Paid the he paid money to keep the gas station away. And I still haven't looked it up. I should probably look it up and see if he owns the new 7-Eleven that he opened. I think he does. But can't prove it. All right, let's see. Clip says, I mean, you can usually have like 50 people watching the stream. Only the same people talk. We have a lot of lurkers. Oh, very much so. Very much so. We have a lot of people, and you know what's funny? Because I watch a streamer, and I've met him. We actually had him on the show, Drunk 3PO, right? Drunk 3PO. We had him back on. I think it's like November-ish. We had him on when he was talking about his book and whatnot on chatting with. I watch his stuff all the time. I don't ever chat, right? Up until we had an interview with him, I never go into his channel, and I've been watching him for years, and I've never said anything in his chat when I see it live until recently. And now that I saw him and met him, I'll be like, hey, what's going on? And that's about it, right? I usually keep him on in the background as I'm doing something, but that's just the way I am, right? So if I'm doing that, there's got to be people doing that for me, right? I would assume. Travis says, gotta ask 30, but if there any game where sniping feels more rewarding than BF1, so freaking. I mean, sniping wise, it feels good in Destiny when you sniped and you like popped the Cabal's heads. That felt good. But I do like Battlefield. It doesn't matter what Battlefield I play. When you snipe in Battlefield, it feels pretty good. Battlefield 1 feels good, though. Crowd says, yo, I played Dragon Age Veilguard for about 4 hours. Cut scenes with boring dialogue, kind of like Metal Gear. I'm out. Did you ever play the other Dragon Age games, House? Did you play any of the other ones? Or is this your first entry into Dragon Age? Right? I just don't like what this looks like. Veilguard to me didn't feel or look like any other Dragon Age. So I was out. I was out before all the DEI stuff and all the other bullshit that happened. I just didn't look good. Kyle says nothing beats sniping in Battlefield 1. Go on, Dolphin. It feels like a long shot of what they were trying to go for Veilguard. But hey, you know, it's an awesome game, even though the people got closed down and the lead director left to go to a different studio. But the game's good. Good. I can't wait for the headlines of some other studio closes because Veilguard struggled. Sort of like what they did to Rocksteady and WB. I played a good bit of Origins. I enjoyed it. Yeah, Origins is great. Outer Worlds 2, I'm excited for, Travis. I'm enjoying Avowed. I like Outer Worlds 1. We'll play it. All right, let's start off with the Ubisoft story here. Altern set. What's going on, Altern? Someone is laughing at the chuds because Veilguard sold like hotcakes. I know Altern. I know a big fan of Jason Schreier when I see one. I see you. Big fan. I know. Yeah, I know. You're like big Jason Schreier fan. I heard that people aren't downloads of it are free. Wait. I heard that people aren't even downloads of it for free. People have downloaded Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles have more. You're talking about Veilguard for free? People aren't downloading it? Hal says Origins is one of those games that thought I would hate, but the characters pulled me in. Stell says 30. You know what's an amazing game? Skull and Bones. You're right, Stealth. Blink if Ubisoft's got you. Wink at us. We know you're okay. All right? I think Stealth is in trouble. I think Ubisoft got to him. I would not play Veilguard for free either. Yeah, I mean, you could hand me a copy of it, and I still wouldn't play it. Ultron says, damn, not even PlayStation Plus can save Veilguard. Bad. Bracket says, Concord better. Travis says, Mike, you know what's really a great game? That's right. Anything but the word I can't say. Go ahead. Say it, Travis. Say it. Say it. Go ahead. Say it. Eclipse says, yeah, that's the people saying that they are downloading Teenage Mutant Turtles game that's not getting Veilguard. Well, I mean, come on. Teenage Mutant Turtles is pretty good. I don't care what turtle game it is. Just the brand is better than Veilguard. All right. Let's bring up the first story here. If you guys like what I do, we just do this Monday through Thursday. I can't believe it's already Wednesday. Time warp. Podcast tomorrow night, Sarge. Get ready. Okay. Ubisoft shareholders plots protest outside of Paris headquarters, accusing company of failing to reveal discussions with Microsoft, EA, and others alleged interested in acquiring IPs. Again, IGN is the best at making really long fucking titles. But we do this, like I said, Monday through Thursday from 10 o'clock in the morning till noon Eastern. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member. As little as $5. We do appreciate you very much. What's going on, Haley? All right. So let's do this again for the breakout video. All right. Ubisoft shareholder plots protest outside of Paris headquarters, accusing company of failing to reveal the discussion with Microsoft, EA, and other alleged interested in acquiring IPs. Threatens to sue for misleading investors. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, wait. Do I have? Hold on. I have a sound effect. Wait for it. Wrong one.
Come on, let's keep a little optimism.
A little optimism? No. Twilight Zone threatens to sue for misleading investors.
You're traveling through another dimension.
All right. The minority shareholder and Ubisoft is attempting to organize a protest outside the company's Paris headquarters, accusing it of failing to disclose alleged discussions with Microsoft, EA, and other publishers reporting interested in acquiring its franchises. In a statement seen by IGN, we're not going to pronounce the guy's name because we're going to butcher it. Okay, the CEO and AJ Investments claimed that Ubisoft is honorably mismanaged by current management. Where have we heard that mismanagement word before? Management. Upper management. Pick a company. Close your eyes. Pick a name on the screen. They probably are mismanaged. Wants to clear a roadmap for recovery from the senior teams to address declining shareholders' value, lackluster operational execution, and failure to adapt effectively to market trends. Okay. Is it Krupa? Is it Krupa? Krupa alleged that Ubisoft has not been transparent about its decision-making, accusing it the firm to hiding information, including Assassin's Creed Mirage. The DLC partnership with Sudan Investment is Savvy Group. Okay, the shareholder also pointed out restriction article published by business investment platform Merge Market, which alleged a discussion between Microsoft, EA, and others interested in acquiring IPs from Ubisoft. You know what name you don't see there? Right? Obviously, the two big names are Microsoft and EA. But you know who's not interested in buying their IPs? That would be Sony. Because Sony wouldn't be included in the other companies. Okay, because Sony's a big company. So Microsoft and EA are showing interest, but others, which are smaller companies, right, are interested in acquiring the IPs from Ubisoft management, did not inform the public about these steps either. Krupa claimed that IGN has asked Ubisoft for comment. Back in October, Bloomberg reported that Ubisoft founding Guillemot family and shareholder Tencent were in discussion to take the company private following a number of high-profile flops, game cancellations, and collapse of the company's share price. At the time, the talks were merely exploratory, and Ubisoft told IGN it would inform the market if and when appropriate. Okay. For several years now, Ubisoft has seemed to be a strange, slow downward spiral with a number of high-profile flops, layoffs, studio closures, game cancellations, and delay after delay after delay. I'm sure Assassin's Creed Shadows is going to be just fine. Just fine. Just fine.
You serious?
No, I'm not serious. I'm not serious. Okay. Meanwhile, rumors continue to spin about the exact proposal of the board, considering that some media outlets floating the idea that Tencent is increasingly regulate and embrace software, or embrace Ubisoft. Sorry, due to the Guillemot families insist on retaining significant amount of control. Okay, Tencent were also a few companies big enough to rich enough to spend the cash needed to save the albatross of Ubisoft has grown into. Okay, management postponed its current game, which should save the company its financials, Assassin's Creed, first time in the 18th of July of 2024. Krupa's statement said that on that date, Ubisoft confirmed full-year guidance for the year of release of AC Shadows on November 15th, 2024. Just a couple of months later, in September 2024, Ubisoft delayed the game again and revisited the guidance, in which it also viewed was moved and then could have been predicted by Ubisoft management. It says, quote, after the third delay, the game then finally be published on March 20th, 2025, and these delays or revised guidance caused server stock declines, which harmed mostly retail investors that have limited resources to manage their position accordingly, and the action benefited mainly corporate institutional investors who were also the buy-side distressed prices such as credit, Goldman Sachs clients, and Morgan Stanley and others. Believing the management did not communicate with the shareholders appropriately, AJ Investments is calling for investors who are frustrated with the prologue stagnation in Ubisoft's stock performance and lack the divisive action and the management team to join the protest in May. It says, quote, we are aware that Ubisoft's management and CEO have initiated a financial review, potential strategic options. Advanced Goldman Sachs and JP Morgan are expected to review the yield results in the coming months, said Krupa, founder and AJ Investments. He also continues by saying that this is why the organization was demonstration in May. And also they have time to reach the conclusion of generally increasing shareholder value. If the conclusion effectively enhances the shareholder value, we also call off the demonstration. Okay. He continues by saying all shareholders, investors in Ubisoft deserve the company and value of operations, transparency, and accountability. Krupa added that Ubisoft has continued to underperform and compare to industry peers. It's time for the company to listen to the shareholders. Okay. So, to be a powerful statement, the investors who also believe the company's potential but damaged urgent change. AJ Investors said that prepare for the sue the company for misleading investors. This isn't the first time investors also have called the company to go private amidst the shares slump following the disappointing release of Star Wars Outlaws. Back in September, AJ Investments issued a strong-worded open letter to Ubisoft's board of directors, including the CEO, Guillemot, as well as the fellow investors of Tencent, to express the dissatisfaction with the performance of the company and the current share price. Okay? So basically, they're suing. A whole bunch of people are coming down, and Microsoft, EA, and other allegedly interested acquired IPs. I don't know if the others are actually a thing. I think that they do that on purpose just to kind of do a bidding war, right? Again, this is not really for us, the consumer. This is meant for someone that reads this and says, wait a minute, Microsoft, EA, and who? Who else is the other people? And they want to make it look like there's like a feeding frenzy that's happening to show interest in the actual company. I've said it from the start. Microsoft said themselves they're not done with making acquisitions. They don't have to buy studios. Now they can just buy IPs, okay? Microsoft has a lot of studios that they can take Assassin's Creed. Because you don't have to make an Assassin's Creed every year like they've been doing with Ubisoft. But Microsoft could pick up the Assassin's Creed IP, or they could pick up, I don't know, the Division or something, right? They're going to start selling IPs off. I would say within the next year, you're going to see start IPs from Ubisoft. Let me backtrack just a second. If AC Shadows is not successful, if it underperforms in some way, shape, or form, within the next year, you will start seeing IPs being sold off from Ubisoft, in my opinion. Okay. Now, does Microsoft pick it up like an AC, or does EA pick up an AC? Now, I don't really see EA picking up AC because I don't feel like AC fits underneath the EA umbrella with the microtransactions and whatnot. But I do see Microsoft picking up a franchise like AC, okay, where they can put that on Game Pass every so often, every 2 years or whatever, when they make their next project. But who knows, right? You got to remember, if they're selling the IP and they're not selling the studio, is that a smart business decision? Does Microsoft have the studio power where they can take this brand and give it to a studio and then continue making it like Ubisoft has? Say what you want about Ubisoft, right? But that they have so much manpower for Ubisoft and for their studios and for the AC, right? We've had an AC game pretty much every year. There was like a small gap between, I think, the one in Paris and then the Origins one. But other than that, AC has been out every single year because they have just massive power of developers. There's like 20,000 people that work at Ubisoft, right? So it'll be interesting to see if EA or Microsoft picks up what IPs they would pick up. I do believe that AC would be on the chopping block because it's worth a lot, but at the same time, it's something that Ubisoft could benefit from selling, but at the same time, it would benefit either EA, Microsoft, or another company. Let's say the others are like, I don't know, Amazon or Netflix or something like that. That would be interested in acquiring that IP. But these are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments section down below. What do you think is going to happen? Right? We're a couple of weeks away from Assassin's Creed Shadows coming out. Lots of shit happening on Assassin's Creed Shadows. If it's not really gameplay mechanic wise, everyone says it looks pretty solid, but they're just upset with everything else. Now, if it comes out and it's successful, when I say successful, we're talking 7 to 10 million copies sold. Then I think they don't sell it off. If it comes out and it's below Mirage, which sold around, I think, 5 million copies, if I'm not mistaken, fact check me, chat. Comment in the section down below. I believe a Mirage sold about 5 million copies. If it sells less than Mirage, Ubisoft and Assassin's Creed are parting ways because it's a falling franchise. But again, these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat what you guys think about what's happening with Ubisoft. Who do you think is going to pick it up? Do you think Microsoft? Do you think EA? Not just about AC, but what brands do you think are going to get picked up or meal pieced off to these other companies? Let me know in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and I'll catch you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching. All right, let me see what you guys are saying up here. Cybersword says, AC is a map-bloated fetch quest game, lost its luster a long time ago. I agree with your statement there. I haven't played an Assassin's Creed game and enjoyed one. The last one I really enjoyed, I want to say, was 3, or was it Brotherhood? I think it was Brotherhood. Brotherhood was like my last one that I really enjoyed. All the other ones were such buggy messes and stuff like that when they first came out. Waterbear says, when you start messing with the investors' money, that's when the shit gets real. Right. Lip says it will be free eventually. I don't know how many Ubisoft games that have never purchased. I will wait for it. Right now, there's a huge sale going on. It's like 75% off for a lot of the games. Argus says Ubisoft equals ass cheeks, the flat kind. The dirty ones at that. The flat ass cheeks. No one ever likes the flat ass cheeks, Argus. Jesus. Go on, Bright Chop. I feel bad for AC fans. Fans of the series have wanted a full AC game since Japan for years. This is what they get. This is what they're being given. It might be good. It might be good for the AC fans. I mean, I'm not picking it up, but I wasn't picking up the last 7. I haven't bought anything. You gifted me Odyssey, I think. I still haven't played it. Right? I think a part of me is like, I have a bad impression from the last Assassin's Creed I got from when I got my Xbox One back in the day. That one was just broke. I like Brotherhood. I like 3. I like Black Flag. I never played Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla, whatever. I never played any of those, right? I'm not the customer anymore. I'll talk crap about Ubisoft, but I'm not going to talk crap about the game. I don't play the game. Now, if I watch footage and see footage and if it's a news story, I'll talk about it, but I can't give shit to it because I haven't played it. Now, another thing on top of this, the game's been out for 3 weeks already. 2 weeks? 2.5 weeks? Because of early access of getting hard copies from stores. So people are playing the game right now. I don't really see a lot of buzz. Even for the people that are playing the day one, they have to wait for the day one patch and stuff. There's not a lot of people watching people play it when they were playing it. Travis says, what's funny is that the only AC I didn't like was Valhalla, and that's because Vikings are boring as hell. Which is funny, Travis, because that's the most popular one. But I don't know what that says. I don't know what that says. You liked all the ACs except the most popular one. Altern says if AC Shadows will be coming to PlayStation Plus at the same time frame as the Veilguard. Maybe. Travis says, you mean the game that's going to be good? It won't be amazing, but it'll be good. Let's see here. Argus says AC Shadows is already going to be subscription service day one. You don't even need to wait for PlayStation Plus. That's right, $18. $18. You just go to Ubisoft Plus and give it a shot. Sarge says it won't be successful. It will underperform. No. It'll be below expectations. Below expectations, Sarge. AC games aren't on Game Pass? They are. They are on Game Pass. Majority of them are on Game Pass. But if you wanted to buy them, they're 75% off, I believe. AC Shadows has sell at least 8+ million to be considered successful, and that's not happening. Ubisoft has lost all goodwill. Prepare for the fire sale, baby. You think so, Water? Sarge says, so if you put a 6'7" white dude in the middle of the Congo and said it's from there, that'd also be fine, right? And then put him on an adventure to save his family from the Sun Continent. Yeah. Argus says no way that the game is going to go well in Japan. It features a character that they also throw into washing machine with soap to turn on the skin and feature into something they find acceptable. Altern says AC Valhalla is good due to the gear you keep that you can keep from beginning to end, because that thing is also important. It is also your character level. If you AC Shadows does that the same, that has a chance. I don't think it does, though, from what we've seen. What's going on, Rowick? Good morning. Hood says, I buy AC a month later. It'll be 30% off like every Ubisoft game. You're a smart consumer, Hood. Like, we say all the time, don't buy it day one, right? That game is going to go on sale so fast. So fast. I mean, there's so many games out that you could spend your full price on a game that you don't have to spend AC, because AC 3 months from now will be 30% off. Maybe even a month, like you said. Altard says, don't forget, you can spend $100 on Ubisoft coins and the ones that they give you for complete challenges, and you get 20% off AC Shadows on PC. Crowded House says Black Flag remake. There is rumors that they are coming out with a Black Flag remake. Garrett Green says AC Shadows looks pretty good. I liked Valhalla. I know a lot of people didn't, though. Which is funny because it's the most played Assassin's Creed game by leaps and bounds. Valhalla is the most successful AC game. But a lot of people say it's not good, but yet it sold the most, which is just strange, right? So were people suckered into playing it? Kylo says the last AC I bought was Unity and Black Flag, and the only reason why it came with Xbox One. That's exactly right, Kylo. Those are the exact ones that I got with my Xbox One, and I didn't really play through them. I played Black Flag, right? But the last one I really, really enjoyed was Brotherhood. I really like Brotherhood. I like the mechanics in Brotherhood and stuff like that. Valhalla and Odyssey, I believe, are there. I believe Origins, Odyssey, Valhalla. There's like 4. I think there's like 3 or 4 on Game Pass. Crowd says they don't even want to remake Resident Evil 5 because the main character is white and he has to kill black zombies in Africa. Yeah, it was who made that article? Was that IGN? I think it was IGN that made that, or was it Kotaku? I remember that. Garrett Green says, my problem is if I want to buy the game on sale, a bunch of other good games are coming this summer. Right. And here's the good and bad about Assassin's Creed. You already know what you're getting with Assassin's Creed, right? You're getting the same Assassin's Creed, but now in feudal Japan instead of Europe or, wherever. You know what AC is, but all of a sudden another game comes out you never tried before, and you see it and it goes, man, that looks good. Like, I can hold off on an AC game. Player says Valhalla also released when the under lockdown with COVID. It also launched with new consoles. So okay. So you're saying that a lot of people got suckered into playing Valhalla because they were locked in their homes and they went, you know what? I'm going to play Valhalla. So Valhalla's sales are because of COVID, not because it was a good game. Travis says Shadows is expected to sell on par with Valhalla. So if Valhalla was successful, does that mean Shadows will be? Where did you see that it's on par with Valhalla? That's not what I've seen. I've seen it's going to be on sale on par with Mirage. Do you have that article? If you have that article, Travis, send it to me. If they said that it's on par with Valhalla, they're going to be sadly mistaken. Ubisoft saying the pre-orders are on par with Valhalla. I haven't seen that. If you have an article, I would like to see that because I have not seen that. Waterbear says Ubisoft knows it and everyone knows it. Saying it's doing fine on pre-orders is not real numbers. Even if it is, I want to see an article of them saying the pre-orders are like Valhalla, which I don't believe. Let me see something. Let me look up something here. Okay. Let's see. Valhalla pre-orders sales. Topping Valhalla's 20 million and 1 billion revenue going into challenging. Let's see if the game pulls. How many copies did AC Valhalla sold? Over 20 million copies AC Valhalla sold. From this, here's an article. For rumor, Assassin's Creed Shadows had only about 7% pre-order numbers of Valhalla during the same time period. Hold on a second. Travis, where are you seeing? Because I have this article right here. You're saying it's on par with Valhalla, and this says only about 7% of the pre-order numbers of Valhalla. So which one is it? On par or only 7%? This was on September 30th of 2024, right? Ubisoft says Assassin's Creed, right here, from The Gamer. Ubisoft says Assassin's Creed Shadows pre-orders are solid. Okay, well, let's read. Let's read on. Nope, that's not what I want. I was trying to close that. Assassin's Creed Shadows pretty much needs a big success at Ubisoft, which is also the company that's also fair share of struggles of recent years, high-profile failures of X-Defiant disappointing sales of games like Star Wars Outlaws, and mass layoffs across multiple studios. Assassin's Creed Shadows has the potential of turning fortunes around, though, but despite the backlash surrounding Azuka, or Yaku, pronounce it. I can't say his name. It doesn't register in my head. It doesn't fucking matter. Okay, it doesn't fucking matter. Okay, Assassin's Creed Shadow pre-order sales are just as good as Odyssey's. So which one is it? Is it as good as Valhalla? Is it good as Odyssey? Is it going to sell as much as Mirage? Like whatever they say. Exact pre-order numbers were never revealed, but Ubisoft gives us an idea as just how well Assassin's Creed Shadows is performing before launch by claiming the title is in line with those Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the second most successful game in the series. That sentence right there doesn't mean the other. Okay. It's in line with Assassin's Creed Odyssey, which is the second most successful game ever. Okay. Claiming the title's in line. Great. I post a video. Alternate doesn't fucking matter. Here's how I pronounce it. I don't care. Yeah, I don't care, right? So they say that I post a video and all of a sudden it goes, oh, this video they just posted is going to be the biggest video that I've ever created. And then 5 seconds later, no one watches it. Right? Yeah. How do you pronounce the guy's name?
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry.
Don't care. Don't care. Of course, just because the game's pre-order sales are high doesn't automatically mean that it will sell like hotcakes. Oh, they love using hotcakes. Hotcakes. Dragon Age Veilguard was one of Steam's most pre-ordered games during the very busy October of last year. Eventually went on to disappoint it and only sold 1.5 million copies. So let's hope it's not on Veilguard's trajectory. These numbers coming from Ubisoft itself should be a little bit reliable, though. And if Assassin's Creed Shadows does become the second most successful game in the series behind Valhalla, then it will give the company a major boost. Listen to me. Listen to me. Even if Assassin's Creed Shadows is the greatest game ever sold in the Assassin's Creed series, it's not saving the company. Okay? It doesn't matter. But I guarantee you, the pre-order sales are down. All right, let's see what you guys are saying. I don't think that's the issue, Travis. I'm black, and I just feel like the historical accurateness that they are also trying to portray is highly accurate, is real. Listen, the people that are offended by what they're doing at Ubisoft are the people from Japan. So if you're not from Japan, right, which is a big market, by the way, China and Japan over there are a big market for them. And if they don't get those people, well, it's not going to do very well. No 30 has 1.5 million players, meaning it sold less copies. That's right. That's true. It did sell less copies. Is it going to do worse than Outlaws? I think that's the question. I think that's the question. Is it going to do worse than Outlaws? I mean, realistically, you got to look at it and go, it can't do worse, can it? But then we had things like Concord come out, where they closed within 12 days, right? Can it be worse? I want to say no, because I don't think it costs as much as Outlaws. They have to pay for the license of Star Wars. With this, they own the license. They own the IP. So I don't think it could do worse than Outlaws. Maybe it sells less, but it's not going to do worse because it'll make more off it because they don't have to give 25 or 30% to Disney. Cyber Sword says AC Shadows cannot save Ubisoft. Only drive a sales price on the IP higher. Correct. Correct. As I said, even if it's very successful, maybe they don't sell off AC or maybe get it for a higher price. But if it's bad, it's done. I still can't believe that Concord only lasted 12 days. It felt like 6 months. Saying that out loud, less than 2 weeks, that game was gone. Think about that. You worked 6 years of your life, 5-6 years of your life. You spent hundreds of millions of dollars, and in 12 days, Sony was like, let's just pull it. Crazy. You know what else went off to the wayside? What was that show that came out that was on Amazon? The one with the cutscenes? Lawbreakers lasted a year, Sarge. Lawbreakers almost lasted a year. Secret Level. Thank you, El Dante. Secret Level. Is that done? Did they show all the episodes that they had? Is that out complete yet? Good Papa, morning. Says, imagine Ubisoft having to sell this off and Microsoft buys AC and other IPs. Yeah, we talked about it in the very beginning. Good Papa. I think they sell AC off. I think that's one of the more recognizable franchises, and they can get a lot of money for that. If this does well, they keep it. If it doesn't do well, they sell it. Well, here, Travis, you say Jay Shockblast has already told me it's good, but the grifters are going to have fun with it. And I'm not surprised grifters have no soul and too much time. Here's the thing. If you want to blame YouTubers or grifters for ruining a game, people watch what they like. So if someone's shitting on a game and people like someone shitting on the game, then the people that like people shitting on the game like shitting on the game themselves. And if there's more people shitting on the game than enjoying the game, well, that makes the game not popular. Regardless, we have this conversation every time a fucking game comes out, okay? I like Marvel's Avengers. I know the game was bad. I will not defend the game knowing and go, it wasn't bad. It was the greatest game ever. You can like a game and yet in the same sentence also say the game is not good. The game is not successful. You're allowed to like games that are not successful, but defending the game, saying the reason it's going to fail is because of grifters, that's not it. The reason it's failing is because of the marketing. The reason it's failing is because of the pushing of the identity politics. The reason it's failing is the gameplay mechanics or the story or with all the other stuff. If it comes out and it sells well and the story is good and the gameplay is good, it doesn't matter about the rest of the stuff as long as it's successful. But if it's not successful, it's not because of one thing. It's because of all of these things. Player says, Concord may have been the biggest flop in entertainment history. You would think, right? But the day before came out and it was gone in 2 days. It launched and 2 days later, they closed. Right? So, but that wasn't a big company. Right? So it's crazy. It's crazy to say, like, nothing is going to top that, but then something does. Remember in the movie industry when we thought Morbius was the worst movie and nothing could get worse than Morbius? And then Sony came out and gave you Madam Web and Craven? And then Borderlands came out? Insane. Yes, they're making season 2 now. Are they making season 2? Or they already made season 2 and they're breaking it up? Yeah, it was out. And they say season 2 confirmed. So again, did they already film season 2 for that show? Nate says it's going to do well. Well, Nate, I already marked you down. You said it's going to get Game of the Year. So we know where you stand. Brown House says Lawbreakers also had an aesthetics problem. Most people thought the characters were unappealing. Oh, absolutely. Cybersword says Secret Level Warhammer episode was great. What I was tackling about for Secret Level is that there was hype when they first showed it off, but it didn't do very good. Here, you know what? Let me look up what Secret Level viewership had. Did good, 7.4 out of 10, right? Rotten Tomato gave it a 65. Let's see. A Secret Level. Was it on any charts? I don't think it got on any charts. Let's see. That's viewer rating. I want viewership. That's not very good. Okay. Here's what we got based off of AI overview here on Google. Okay. It says Secret Level, the Amazon Prime animated series based on video games, had the most watched animated series debut on Prime history, which is good. But total viewer count consuming 155.3 million minutes within the first week, which is really not that good. Might be good for Amazon, but overall it's not very good. Okay, it said record-breaking debut. Secret Level became a Prime's most watched animated series debut. First week viewership, viewers watched 155.3 million minutes in the series in its first week. Renewed for season 2. The show's success also led to season 2 renewal just 1 week after the release, which means that they probably already had it filmed and in the can. I'm just assuming. Okay. The show is also an anthology series. Also, each episode focusing on a different game. Let me see something. Let's see. Secret level. For second season, Amazon Prime after debut. Details of the second season and whether it's been fully filmed remain under wraps. Here's a summary of what we know. Variety reported the Secret Level has renewed for a second season on Amazon Prime. When they don't, okay, now there's no proof that it was being filmed, but when it's under wraps, it remains under wraps. Okay, whether it's been fully filmed remains under wraps. For most of the time, the thing that gets filmed for season 2 is already like okay for season 2. It means it's already being filmed. This is how they save money. Okay, so they film season 1, or they make like season 1 and they chop it in half, and then they have a season 2. So if it does well, then they have a second season already in the can, ready to go. They do this a lot now with a lot of Netflix shows, Amazon shows, and whatnot, because it just, in the long run, it costs much less. Haven't heard a lot of buzz though. Here, let me put it into perspective, right? So, let's see. Daredevil. Let's see. 7.5 million. Is there a thing for hours watched in the first week? 7.5 million views. How long's the show? How long's the show? Is it 40 minutes? 30 minutes? How long's the show? I'm trying to find, basically what I'm trying to show you guys is to prove to you that them talking about 155 million 150 million hours watched is not really a lot. Okay, so Daredevil. No, that's the original one. That's 18. Devil. Did anybody watch Born Again? How long are each episodes? Are they 22 minutes, or are they longer? They're probably 40 minutes. All right, so let's just take 40 minutes. 40 minutes, and they had 7.5 million people watch. Right? So 40 minutes. Okay. So that's 300 million minutes watched. Okay. 40 minute long at 7.5. That's just one episode. Okay. So when Secret Level tells you it's got 155 minutes, 155.3 million minutes. That's less than. This is 7.5 million for 2 episodes. Okay, and I'm only doing 1 episode. Is 300 million minutes. So they're less than 1 million people watching Secret Level, and they renewed it for a second season. It doesn't look like it did very good, but it did good for Amazon, so it got renewed. But that's really low, really low. All right, let me see what you guys are saying in chat as I went off the path there. Good Papa says, I need a Secret Level about Halo title. Tank Beast, everything. Crowded House said Secret Level did Mega Man dirty. I haven't watched any of them. I have no way of confirming if Season 2 is already created, but it's set to release later. I don't know why they did the split season with like 2 weeks gap. Because they didn't make enough episodes, I would assume, El Dente, and they tried to kind of... It's on Amazon, so they want you to like weekly or pay monthly, you know what I mean? Z says, I love Secret Level and still did not watch the whole thing. Well, don't feel bad, Z. It doesn't seem like many people did. Every episode is like 15 minutes tops. Those are insane numbers. 155 for the first week. How many episodes came out the first week, Al Dente? Let me scroll down and see if you answered. Yeah, how many episodes came out for Secret Level? First week of Secret Level episode, Amazon Prime Video, December 10th, 2024. Feature episode inspired Dungeons and Dragons, Sifu, and New World and Unreal Tournament. So that was what, 4 episodes? The first 4 episodes were released on December 10th. So if they're 15 minutes long each, that's an hour long. So everyone watched the first episode or season, which is 4 episodes. Right? So you're taking all of them together. That's how people watch them. So 60 minutes divided by, wait. 60 minutes times 155, right? 55 million minutes. Oh, no, that's not right. Yeah, that's not a lot of people watching the fucking show. That's not a lot of people watching the show. Google says episodes are 20 minutes for Daredevil Prosy or for Secret Level. First 3, I believe. It says 4 on the thing. It says 4 episodes. Episode 1, Dungeons and Dragons, then Sifu, then New World, and then Unreal Tournament. Those were the first episodes that came out all in one day. No, Roadkill. I watched them all. Only 3 were good. Yeah, 15 episodes and 5 to 6 episodes are good. Secret Level. Yeah, Secret Level. So 155.3 million minutes watched. Not very good for the first week for the 4 episodes. Whatever it is, right? Secret Level varies from the ones that are 6 minutes and the ones that are 18 or 20. Whatever it is, 4 episodes, if it equaled a total of 40 minutes, and everyone sat down and watched, right? And even worse, because they didn't watch one episode. They only watched maybe a 6-minute one and then never came back. 155 minutes. Not very many people watched it. Now, obviously, good for Amazon. They said it was again, very specific, by the way, when they say that it was the Amazon's Prime's animated series based on video games. Yeah. Let me read that again. Okay. Secret Level, the Amazon Video animated series was debuted, okay, had the most watched animated series debut on Prime Video history. Animated. Now we would have to go back and look at it. How many animated things came out on Amazon Prime that are new, that are brand new IPs that came out, and then compare those to that. Travis, you ever find that article? You ever find that article about AC being more pre-orders than Valhalla? Ever find that one? Nate says, I'm really enjoying Monster Hunter. I don't get to play this like that. And it's also on my Series S, and my daughter plays on my Series S. Should be bought on my PlayStation 5. Cybersword says, the first 4 were not strong enough to make people want to return to them. And I can see why I fell off. My whole point in the very beginning of this whole thing, Cybersword, was you haven't heard much about it. There was more buzz about before it came out than after it came out. You found it, but it was a misread. Got it. I was going to say, I don't remember ever seeing an article saying it was as much as Valhalla. And and just put it out there. I read and look at news stories all the time. I don't remember that. It was Odyssey. It's on par with not on Valhalla, and I messed up. It happens. Understandable. That's why I said when you come out like that, I'm going to call you out, anybody, and I could be wrong, but I don't remember ever seeing an article like that. And I look at news stories all the time. Also, I'm a 76er. I'm 76ers in on Monster Hunter. 70 hours into Monster Hunter Wilds. I'm almost at Hunter rank 100. I'm at 96 right now. Nice stealth. All right. Let's watch. Let's see. Let's watch Legendary Drops video. Steam is on a warpath. Okay. Right? Steam is on a warpath. If you guys like what we do here, we have conversations, we read news stories, watch videos, give you my thoughts and opinions. I get your thoughts and opinions as well. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. All right, so let's watch this. All the descriptions, all the stories that we're doing or covering today are in the links down below, in the description down below.
There has very much been a cultural revolution within the video game industry between the players and the publishers and the media, and a lot of it has been platformed off of Steam. Not actively, so to say, more passively than anything else, because it's one of the only places, it's one of the only platforms where the customer still has a voice, and that voice can be heard. We just
Is that loud enough for you guys, or does it need to be louder? Let me make it a little louder.
don't see that in a lot of other places. And I don't think a lot of people have picked up on this, but not only has Steam been getting more popular, they've been on a warpath. They've been setting up rules and regulations for all of these other publishers to follow, and if they don't fall in line, well, then they're not going to be on Steam, and these guys want to be on Steam.
Do you know why you want to be on Steam, chat? Do you know why you want to be on Steam? Because there's a lot of people on Steam. As a game publisher or a game developer, you want to be on Steam because it's 18 times, or as Todd Howard would say, 16 times the detail. It's 18 times more people on PC playing video games than there is on any console combined.
And I realize that a lot of people are going to push back and say that's a lot of power for one company to have. And you're absolutely right in that. But from my perspective, they've also become our de facto legislators in an industry that is wildly underregulated. They are putting consumer protections in place in an industry where those consumer protections don't exist. And why are
Altered says, because it's hard to move the mouse to open a different launcher. Yeah, it's very difficult to go from here. Like, look, let's do a thing, right? Here's his guitar, right? Let's say one guitar right here. Can you guys see my mouse, right? This is Steam, right? And then this guitar over here is Epic, right? And then over here is GOG. For me to go from Steam to here, that's a lot of work. That's a lot of work. Okay? So you can't ask me as a consumer, and those of you coming in and watching me, I'm being very sarcastic right now. You can't ask me as a consumer to click on Steam here and then move over to this guitar over here to click Epic to launch that. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of work.
Are they doing it? Well, it's because they value their audience. We've had plenty of conversations about an industry at war with its own audience. Well, this is the last bastion of that industry where they still care about us. So from hitting 40 million concurrent players on Steam and exposing
I'm sorry, Breezy. I know that's exhausting, right? I'm parched. I gotta take a break. I think I got carpal tunnel for moving the mouse over that far.
Activision Blizzard to beating Amazon and not even knowing it. Today, what we're going to do is we're going to talk about the continued success of Steam and how they're drawing battle lines nobody wants to cross. If Steam was ever going to have a competitor, it would have been Amazon because they have the money, the infrastructure, the Twitch integrations they could do to be able to create something massive, but instead they threw billions at a problem and made nothing. A former Amazon executive admitted as much in a recent article from Windows Central written by Michael Hoagland titled "Amazon Admits Defeat to Steam." His former VP declares, "We were 250 times bigger, but Goliath lost."
because they didn't want to put any effort in. They didn't want to put any fucking effort in. Amazon's like, hey, we should compete with Steam. Let's put it out there. No, let's forget about it, right? They have Luna. Like, Amazon has their toe in the water, but that's about all they want to do, right? They don't want, what's going on, Sin? They don't want to actually compete. They're like, oh, no. We lost. We don't want to invest that much money. Hey, what can we buy? Let's buy Lord of the Rings 12 pages. Let's buy James Bond. Right? Let's go to lawsuits for Twitch streamers. Right? They like to blow their money on a lot of other things. Let's build a clock in the middle of a desert that only strikes once every 100 years.
Just because you're big enough to build something doesn't mean people will use it. Michael writes, in a LinkedIn post, Ethan Evans recalls his loss to Steam when he led the division. We were at least 250 times bigger, and we tried everything, but ultimately Goliath lost. That's an interesting choice of words when you compare market share. While it's true Amazon by itself is a company that vastly outsizes Steam, no other company has ever held a portion of the PC market like Steam has. To me, they've always been Goliath. It's just been other Goliaths coming to battle them with similar tools and identical features, but a simple change of attire.
Yeah, right? Here's the thing that people don't understand. Steam is a monopoly. They have the PC market in lockdown, okay? But they also respect the players. They also respect the consumers that buy their stuff off there, right? This is why Newell, right, is beloved in the gaming community because of the policies that Steam puts in and protects you, and the return policies and all this other stuff they've been doing in, right? Everybody else has to get on par with them, right? This is where Xbox and Microsoft come in, where they're like, hey, we should partner with them. They're the big guys over there, right? Microsoft is not trying to compete with Steam. They're just trying to get into the market with Steam.
Ethan admits to misunderstanding what it took to take on the giant. At Amazon, we assumed that size and visibility would be enough to attract customers, but we underestimated the power of existing user habits. We never validated our core assumptions before investing heavily in solutions. The truth is, gamers already had a solution to their problems, and they weren't going to switch to another platform
right,
just because a new one was available.
Remember, the platform just off for PC players, if you're just a PC guy, is just this to this, right? This to this, this to this. And they're like, yeah, we ain't going to do it. Remember when Borderlands came onto Epic, and it was 6 months later before it came onto Steam? Everyone's like, fuck you, 2K. Kiss my ass. You could keep your Borderlands, right? Remember that? Borderlands 3, when it came out, was Epic exclusive for, I think, 6 months. Was it 6 months? Maybe a little longer, right? And everyone's on Steam's like, whatever.
When a person is happy, they don't go look elsewhere because something else is.
Sarge says, they're a monopoly, but currently they're on our side. That's right. That's right.
Available. When a player has a large library of games, achievements, friends, and hours spent on a product platform, what's the reason for them to shift? Beep boop, does not compute. We fail to understand user habits. These suits are complete bots failing to understand anything about the industry, the game.
Because the suits don't understand. Real quick, Sin says, I don't know how Obsidian did it, but I totally knocked the exploration out of the park and Avowed. It has me wanting to check out every nook and cranny in the Living Lands. Sin, I said this last night. When I was playing it through my playthrough, right? We're about 39 hours in. And I said they completely knocked it out of the park with the exploration. I love the exploration, right? I like the exploration in Indiana Jones. And Avowed's like right up there as far as doing puzzles, finding things, nook and cranny, finding the treasure chests. Like, to me, they did a very good job with the world, and making me go to every part of the map to try to find stuff. Now, people that don't want to do that, cool. But the people that like doing that, they've succeeded above and beyond for the exploration in that game.
Games or the players. Just one time I want to hear these guys say something that genuinely reflects the perspective of the players. Just one time I want them to put themselves in the players' shoes. They were so close saying gamers already have a solution. The issue is these suits don't understand the problem being solved is them. Amazon thought that they could brute force their way into the PC gaming space, but they never understood why people use Steam.
This looks beautiful, by the way, the Monster Hunter.
In the first place. Steam's not just a storefront, it's a platform that's built on trust. Valve isn't some faceless mega corporation chasing quarterly earnings reports. It's a company ran by people who actually understand games. When they make changes, it's almost always in the favor of the developer or the player. They give developers real tools. They don't try to nickel and dime their players. They treat the ecosystem like a living thing, not a cash register.
Right.
Meanwhile, Amazon thought that they could just throw some money at Twitch streamers, slap together a launcher, and all of a sudden compete with Steam, but they were wrong. Nobody cared. Nobody wanted to use
Amazon literally did the most minimal viable product they could probably do. Okay. And they're like, oh, we just couldn't go up against Goliath. It's because they didn't want to.
Amazon's half-assed gaming service. Even with all of their unlimited money, they still couldn't buy relevance. And that's why Steam is untouchable. It's not about the games, it's about how the platform treats you. And unlike every other company within this industry, Valve doesn't treat its customers like walking ATMs. Amazon failed, Epic failed, Ubisoft failed, every single competitor who has tried to take on
Real quick, hold on. I want to see what it says there.
ATMs. Amazon failed, Epic failed,
Tim Sweeney, Epic Games Store is still losing money after 5 years. They lost billions, right?
Ubisoft failed every single.
The Assassin's Creed Mirage Steam launcher is suddenly imminent. Okay, Ubisoft confirms that Assassin's Creed Mirage Steam launch is coming, as the games will not now arrive on Valve's platform on day one. Imagine that. Why do you think that is?
Single competitor who has tried to take on Steam has failed, and it's because Valve actually respects their customers. Imagine that, a company that doesn't hate us. You know, I'll be honest with you guys, if it wasn't for me actually reading these headlines, I wouldn't even have known that Amazon even had a storefront. That's how little people were
That's true. That's true.
talking about it. That's how little people were interested in anything other than Steam. And Steam's success isn't going to be stopping anytime soon because it's part of a much bigger shift in this industry. PC gaming is growing faster than ever, and the data proves it. As reported by IGN in an article titled Steam Tops 40 Million Concurrent Players for the First Time as We All Jump In to Play Monster Hunter Wilds, Vicky Blake reports Steam, the most popular digital game distributor for PC players, has once again broke its own concurrent user record, breaching 40 million concurrent players for the first time. Over the weekend, which just so happened to coincide with Monster Hunter Wilds launch on Friday, February 28th, Steam logged 40,270,997 simultaneous players, breaking its previous record of 39.9 million players set in February 2025. In fact,
That's concurrent, by the way. There's a lot more people that use Steam. That's the concurrent. How many people were concurrently on?
according to SteamDB, Steam's concurrent record, seen by some as a way of measuring the success of Valve's digital platform, has been broken almost every single month since May 2024 with a concurrent peak.
But again, people will tell me that console sales are just as good. They're on rising. People everywhere are buying consoles, and consoles are selling like hotcakes.
Rising from 35.
Even though analysts and everything else said market saturation happened in 2008 for consoles, okay? And yet people will defend it because they love their plastic boxes.
5.5 million players to 40.2 million in just 6 months. So now let's put all this into perspective. Steam isn't just growing, it's growing faster than ever. While gaming platforms are struggling with engagement loss, live service failures, and subscription fatigue, well, Steam is doing the exact opposite. Every single month, their records keep breaking. Every year, their foothold in the industry gets stronger. And that's because PC gaming isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Consoles used to be the convenient option. Plug it in, press start, and play. But that illusion has started to crack. Next-gen console hardware launched with big promises, but what did the players actually get? 30 FPS modes, aggressive upscaling, missing features, and all the while, these platforms have done little to improve the customer experience. I mean, we have
That's cool. I didn't know your fucking mount could fly.
people that are buying the hardware outright, subscribing to play online using the internet they already own, and they're being filtered.
Look at this power fantasy, man. Jumping off a mountain. You look like a badass in your armor. Jumping off with your mount, then leaping off your mountain, then slicing into a goddamn giant monster.
Into a limited ecosystem of games where their reviews mean nothing. They're being bombarded with ads on their dashboard, and they're locked out of basic features. What exactly are these people playing for? Of course they're going to start going to PC. And then we have streaming culture, because more players aren't just playing games anymore. They're creating content. They're streaming on Twitch, editing clips for YouTube, and engaging with gaming in ways that, well, consoles just simply weren't built for. The Steam Deck has made a huge...
I mean, water, I don't care if it's falling gracefully. It's still badass, jumping off, gliding, okay, and then jumping off. Whatever you guys want to call it, flying, falling gracefully, gliding, I don't give a shit.
I'm here to tell you right now, We don't care.
Let me tell you something.
We don't care.
Jerry,
Don't care.
Difference as well. This is one of the smartest things that Valve has ever done because it's not just a handheld PC, it's a bridge. It pulled in console players who had never touched Steam before, and once they saw what was possible, no paid subscriptions for online, full access to an entire library of games, the ability to tweak and
Actually, 30 is actually not falling or flying. He's gliding. If you saw the 3/4 inch wings that came out of his side there, he actually is gliding.
mod things whenever you want to. Why would you go back? More games, fewer restrictions. Steam doesn't have the same walled garden nonsense that PlayStation, Nintendo, and Xbox do. Early access thrives here. Indie games have a real shot at success. Modding is alive and well, and Valve isn't strong.
I just realized, emote, I'm wearing that shirt.
Arming developers into exclusivity deals and trying to push a storefront that nobody wants. But arguably the biggest catalyst for Steam's recent
It's emoteception.
success is actually the launch of Steam China back in 2021. While initially the adoption rate was pretty slow, we've seen with the launch of Black Myth Wukong and more recently Monster Hunter Wilds just how much of an impact that can have. I myself am welcoming my Chinese brethren into the fold because these guys do not put up with poor optimization. Did you
That boss looks pretty cool.
guys know that most of the negative reviews on Monster Hunter Wilds were written in simplified Chinese? Steam now has access to one of the biggest consumer markets in the entire world with a population of 1.4 billion people. That's going to have an effect. The numbers don't lie. PC gaming isn't just growing, it's pulling in players away from consoles, and Steam is leading the charge. Not because they're trying to force anybody's hand, but because at the end of the day, they don't need to. When given a choice, players choose Steam, and that says everything. And Steam's only going to get bigger, especially because of Steam China, because we've already seen that month after month, we're going to see more and more of these Chinese games release. And we saw the effect of Black Myth Wukong and how many players that brought into the ecosystem. And with some of these Chinese games that are going to be coming out, they're going to get national support. And that's going to act like a bullhorn that's going to bring in more Western players that are going to be attracted to that game and how popular it is. That's how this thing continues to work. And other than GOG, see, I mentioned GOG, praise me in the comments. I don't see any reason for me to use any other platform that's out there because none of them are as consumer friendly
That's right.
and as convenient as Steam is.
Let's be honest, though. They're all convenient. They're all there, right? But he's 100% correct. Steam is so consumer friendly. Even when they're not consumer friendly, they're more consumer friendly than everything else out there. Imagine the respect. Right? You show respect. You respect the players. You respect the players' time. Right? How many times has Steam said, "All right, we're giving refunds for this"? Right? No, we're doing this. No, we're not going to let this game come onto the program or the launcher. How many times have they gone to bat for the consumer?
Sure, I realize that that's monopolistic, but I really like it when a monopoly works for me. And
I like what he said. Sarge said it earlier, right? I really like it when a monopoly works for me.
that's exactly what Steam does. Steam works for me. At a glance, I can see everything that I want to about a game. I can see how many people are playing it. I can see what people are saying about it. I can see screenshots or the trailers or people streaming it. They have streams right on Steam. I can see what content's included in the version I want to buy. Maybe it's included in a bundle or maybe it's on sale. It'll put up in big, bold, yellow text whether or not it has any type of third-party software like DRM or whatever else it might be. If I don't like it, within 2 hours, I can return it, no questions asked, and you just
Sometimes you can even return it after that.
do not have those things on any other platform. Not a single one of them. It makes no sense to me how any of these companies would try to compete with Steam if they will not compete on their terms. If you are not trying to iterate on the things that make Steam successful, the reason why...
And the best part is, you don't have to own anything on Steam. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to buy a Steam box. Sure, if you buy the Steam handheld, right, the Steam Deck, you own something from Steam. But you don't have to. You could buy the computer that you want to buy. You could buy the graphics card that you want to play. You put whatever build you want to put for your computer, and these games are just there. You're not behold by the company telling you what type of processor or whatnot you can have.
People go to Steam in the first place, then why are you even trying? All you're doing is wasting time and money, because every single month that you're not doing what they do, well, players are buying more games on Steam, they're becoming more invested on that platform, and it's getting even more popular, and you won't stand a chance.
I think the worst thing about Steam, it's super hard to find because there's so many games. It's so hard to find, and they do a pretty damn good job because they know if you play a certain type of game, if you play like an RTS game, it's going to start trying to show you more RTS games. It'll show you indie games. It'll show you games like RTS games that are like that. If you play survival games, it'll show you more survival games. Other platforms do that well. But Steam has got so many things, it's super hard to try to find new stuff. It takes a long time, but that's a problem with any digital stuff, right? Netflix, Amazon have the same problem when you're looking for like a new movie or even an older movie, scrolling through to try to find where you don't know what you want to watch, but you want to like kind of scroll through and see what comes out and sticks out to you. That's the biggest problem with, in my opinion, the digital world.
But I think that's the critical issue. It's
just
not
too
that
many
they don't
things.
understand why Steam works or why Steam is popular. It's that they hate that it does, because they hate how user-friendly it is. They hate how much control and how much transparency it has. They hate how much control the players have, how much choice the players have. And they really don't like the fact that they have to operate on Steam's terms instead of their own. Steam isn't just a storefront, it's an industry watchdog, and that becomes more obvious every year. Activision Blizzard recently...
This is why Sony's trying to make their own launcher, why Xbox or Microsoft wants you to use Windows, right? Because they don't want to depend on Steam, but at the same time, they got to, because it's the biggest platform. Just like studios that are making games, they have to go to PlayStation because it's the biggest platform. You'd be dumb if you make a game on console and not go to PlayStation.
Tried to sneak in AI-generated art into Call of Duty without telling anyone, letting players assume that they were paying for real handcrafted content.
You like that? Activision finally admits it using generative AI for some Call of Duty Black Ops 6 assets for Backlash, following AI slop Zombie Santa loading screen.
Content until Steam's latest policy forced them to come clean. As of 2025, Steam requires full transparency. If a game contains AI-generated content, it has to be disclosed up front. AI itself isn't necessarily the issue. I don't think that players are necessarily against it, but I think that players are against paying more for less. AI should, in theory, lower costs and improve efficiency.
100% AI should lower costs, but it's not. You think EA is going to use AI and all of a sudden Madden's going to be cheaper? Bro.
Yet somehow publishers are using it to cut corners while still charging premium prices. That's what players hate. Not that AI exists, but that it's being used to shortcut and pump out lazy, overpriced content. And if Steam hadn't stepped in, publishers would have kept pretending like it wasn't happening at all. And this isn't the first time that Valve has forced publishers to play fair. In 2024, EA openly discussed adding in-game advertisements, one of the most profitable ways to be able to nickel and dime your customers at the expense of their experience, but Steam shut it down immediately. They banned forced advertisements in games just like...
Congratulations. Steam is looking out for you. Right? Steam's like, we're making a shit ton of money off the games itself. Why do we have ads inside of the thing we already paid for? Right? I get a game for free. I got to pay for microtransactions. I got to pay for internet. I got to pay for ads now. I got to watch ads.
That. While other companies may see gaming as another passive entertainment platform to monetize like streaming services, Valve made it clear players should not have to sit through a commercial break to play a game that they paid for.
That's
No
right.
wonder Sony's been so hesitant to move to Steam. I'm sure they'd love to cash in on that ad patent.
Yeah, remember? We talked about this on GXG. Turns out Sony owns the creepiest TV patent ever. Stop the world. I want to get off. This is where you have to, when you see the commercial, if you want it to end, you have to speak out what it is on the screen so it knows that you watched it. Otherwise, you watch the entire commercial. That's right. Your Sony overlords have a patent to call out the ads that will be playing on your box. Fucking idiots.
They've been sitting on. But if that wasn't enough, and this is something we've talked about in a previous video, Valve also cracked down on one of the biggest publisher scams, selling season passes and DLC with no intention on delivering the content on time. For years, developers have been getting away with promising post-launch expansions, collecting money up front, and
We're not going to use it. We just have a patent for it. we're not going to use it. We're not going to use that type of stuff. Then why do you have a patent? Well, we're using it so no one else uses it. We're protecting you.
Either delaying their content indefinitely or just canceling it altogether. But Steam changed the rules. Now, if a developer misses their content or their DLC deadline and they don't notify Steam of the delay, Steam will automatically refund players. No waiting, no arguing, just instant refunds. Name another platform that does that. You can't. But what really pisses off these publishers about Steam isn't their policies, it's their transparency. Valve actually gives the players the information they need before making a purchase. And that's a serious threat to an industry that's built on hype, artificial scarcity, and manufactured popularity. Taking current player data, for example, Steam lets players see exactly how many.
Yeah, this is why everyone goes back to Steam and looks at numbers, right? Because Steam shares the actual numbers. They're transparent. They're like, yeah, there's so many people are playing the game. They know people like numbers. People love numbers. You know how many people are playing. You know how many people potentially bought it, right? You can tell if a game is successful or not successful on Steam, okay? Obviously, if it's successful on Steam or not successful on Steam doesn't mean it's not successful on console, but this is the biggest market. This is the biggest market. If your numbers are not big on Steam, then it's not big in the market.
People are playing a game in real time, a feature that Ubisoft reportedly wanted to see them remove, but it's obvious why they would want to have it gone.
Right. Ubisoft reportedly wants Steam to hide concurrent player count data. I wonder why. Because how would they have a narrative saying that our game is very successful? If I tell you our game is so successful, but then you look at the Steam charts, I did a video about this yesterday. Okay? About Avowed. The articles are telling you Avowed is super high, sky and flying off the shelves. It's so many people are going out and playing Avowed, and you're like, but no one's talking about it. How is that possible? But yet, when someone is playing a game, you're like, oh yeah, that's a popular game. They want to hide as much stuff as possible from you.
Publishers do not want you to see the.
What the funny part is, back in the day, movie theaters and stuff bragged about number one at the box office. 10 million people went to go view it. Number one, right? And now it's backfired in their faces. Because before you used to gloat about the numbers. But now, because there's so much media out there, because there's so many games out there, and there are record breakers, that you can't know the number. Because you're now comparing that game to other games in the genre or the movie. And if it's not that big, and they tell you it's a hit, it's not, because we can tell. We're not idiots.
The actual numbers. They want you listening to journalists to tell you that the game is popular. But on Steam, you don't have to take anyone's word for it. You can go see the numbers yourself. You can go see if a live service game is thriving or barely hanging on. You can decide if it's worth investing your money into or if it's already a ghost town that won't last another 6 months. And that's a problem because this directly conflicts with their financial goals. These companies have no problem making players spend money before they eventually pull the plug. And they have no issue gaslighting players into believing a game is alive and well when it's not. You know what else directly impacts their sales, or at least should? Reviews. And nothing forces publishers to be more honest than Steam's review system. This isn't just a feature. It's one of the most powerful forces in games.
Because you have to buy it. It tells you how long the person played it. It's much different if someone tells you on the screen right now, right? The guy has a thumbs down, Dr. Bonertron, okay? It says there's no cooking cats. They don't reveal this to you at the hours go by and the hours that go by suddenly, and you realize that there's no cooking cats. And by then, you can't request a refund, okay? He's talking about cooking cats like the guys in Monster Hunter or whatever when you're cooking. But you're like, what is this guy talking about? But he's got 47.7 hours, okay? 47. 24.1 hours at the time of review. So you could take this person's... If someone comes into the stream and says, this is a fucking shit game, did you play it? It's anonymous. You don't know if they played it or they didn't play it, right? They could just say the game's shit, right? But this tells you exactly how many hours that person played. It tells you how many hours at the time of review, and then it tells you their total time. It's so transparent.
Gaming. A single bad decision can sink your game overnight. When Sony tried to force in PlayStation logins into Helldivers 2, Steam players review bombed the game so hard that Sony backtracked in record time.
Steam review bombing is gaming's most powerful method of protest. 3 takeaways from Helldivers 2's Weekend Meltdown.
This wouldn't have happened on any other platform, but on Steam, negative reviews can actually affect sales, which means developers can't ignore them. And it's not just PC players that are checking out these Steam reviews. Console players are relying on them too, because let's be honest, gaming journalism is dead. IGN, Kotaku, GameSpot, these outlets have turned into nothing more than corporate mouthpieces, handing out 9 out of 10 scores to garbage, half-baked games, dismissing real player concerns and treating criticism like it's toxic. Nobody trusts them anymore. Players aren't going to waste their time and money based on some paid-for Metacritic score. Instead, they're going to go check out Steam because that's the place where real, unfiltered player opinions actually matter. Steam lets players organize and warn each other. Unlike other platforms that try to suppress discussions that might hurt their sales, Steam allows open, unmoderated discussions. Take Sweet Baby Detected as an example, a group that tracks a specific game consultancy agency that was involved with writing different games. Whether you agree with them or not, players deserve the right to know who is shaping their games and if they want to buy something that they are involved in. The gaming press wanted Steam to shut it down.
You want my money, I get to know if I want to spend my money on your product. And if I don't agree with your product in any way, shape, or form, you don't deserve my money. That's exactly right.
Developers tried to call for its removal, but Valve, they didn't cave. They didn't censor it. They left it up. Here's the truth. Steam doesn't just compete with these other storefronts. It is regulating the entire industry. Anytime Steam makes a change or bans something entirely, these publishers and developers have to fall in line. Otherwise, they're not going to have their games on the biggest platform in the world. And with how hard it's been for some of these companies to actually profit off of some of their games, they cannot afford to not be on Steam. That's why Steam is such a threat to modern gaming. It exists in direct opposition to everything that these big publishers have been wanting. It's too user-friendly. It gives players too much control. It's too transparent, and it forces them.
Bad for business. It's bad for the old school mentality of gaming.
To play fair. And that's why these companies keep trying so hard to replace it. Epic burned billions trying to make a competitor. Amazon failed before they even got started. Ubisoft, EA, and a bunch of other publishers have abandoned their own PC launchers because nobody wanted them. Every attempt to take Steam down has failed. And why is that? Well, that's because when given a choice, players are always going to choose freedom over control. And that's why they're choosing Steam. Valve isn't just another faceless corporation. It still operates like a game developer. It's not run by marketing executives or analysts that don't.
They have the most or least amount of employees, and they make the most amount of money for the employees that they have. That's how efficient Steam is run.
Don't play games. It's run by people who actually understand video games. They make video games. That's why Steam has a clear identity and one that prioritizes the players over the publishers. And that's why every single competitor is going to fail. Amazon, Epic, Xbox, EA, Ubisoft, every single one of these PC platforms was built by people who only put profits first and players second. They don't understand their audience because they aren't their audience. But Steam is different. It was built for the players, and because of that, Valve is the only company that is actually regulating the industry. I, for one, am completely happy that we have Steam on our side, and they are the ones that are laying out the rules right now. Because if they weren't doing it, then nobody would. Because, well, you know, in a lot of cases, there's nobody that's actually trying to fight on our side legislatively. It's governments and whatnot. Half these people are too old to really understand video games to begin with, and they don't really care about it. And even if they did, well, they just probably have some people that would lobby against it, and then they'd make it worse. So, yeah. But there isn't a single company within this industry that could compete.
I want to push back a little bit to the age thing. It's not about their age. They don't know anything, right? Because the most people that are making video games are older, right? The people that started making video games back in the 70s and 80s, they're in their 60s, okay? Maybe even their 70s. It's not because they're old, they don't understand. It's the people that got into the business that are not gamers, that are heads of corporations or heads of management or hedge fund guys that want to make a shit ton of money, and they don't understand gaming, but they understand business, and they think the business, right? The gear and the wrenches of their mentality of the gaming industry is the gamers. The people that these people run, the people that run these businesses are the same people that used to make fun of you when you were younger playing video games. Okay? They're running the corporations. Okay? The people making the games understand what works or doesn't work. The consumer likes what they like, and they know what they like, but it's the people that run these businesses. It's not the age of these people. It's the age of the people that have no idea because they've never played video games before.
Steam. And I say that with the utmost confidence because you have a company that, one, isn't publicly traded, so they're not being influenced by investors or trying to make money for other people. They're just trying to make money for themselves. And on top of that, these guys make more money per employee than Apple and Google. They're making more than enough money that they don't even care. And the only way for them to make more money, at least from their perspective, is just to invite more players in and then protect that audience, protect those customers, because that's the way that they stay. If you use them and abuse them, well, they're going to go leave. They're going to go somewhere else or something like that. That's not what you want. No.
And if Steam, at one point, you guys are saying it in chat, always be vigilant, right? If Steam at one point, if Newell leaves and someone takes over, or someone buys Steam, or Steam just happens to be like, we're too big, we can't fail, that's when you have to be like, uh-oh, they're too full of themselves. They're too big to think that their shit doesn't stink. And they could 100% easily change all these things. And you could love them today and hate them tomorrow. This is why you don't blindly love any corporation.
That's the reason why when we look at Steam for the most part has been on autopilot. They don't need to change anything.
Nope.
They don't need to do anything to it. You don't need to add anything other than video
Yeah,
games.
just let
more
it go.
games for me to play and buy. That's the reason why these guys are going back to making video games right now. That's the reason why they're going and making a Steam Deck, because they're making ways to invite more players into the ecosystem rather than milk the players that are already there. That's how their vision is completely opposite for the rest of the entire industry, because these guys are so focused on trying to squeeze every drop out of whoever they have, they end up scaring everybody else away, including the people they're squeezing. That doesn't work out in the long run. Now, while Valve has definitely betrayed us in the past, I'm not going to pretend like they're a perfect company. They are the ones that popularized loot boxes in a lot of ways. From my perspective, they're one of the very few that are still on our side and are still working for our best interests. They're still working for us. And that's the most important thing. Well, I think a lot of people believe that Steam's going to change one day, and fair enough. All companies change. Things change. It's how the world works more than anything else. You know, this company is so small. They make so much money. They only have 300 employees. They have such a focused philosophy on video games and players and customers and their platform. I don't see that going anywhere.
Real quick, Artemis says, the only pushback I would say is that Valve doesn't make games anymore. Would these watchdog features hurt their games? Would they implement them? I think the reason that they don't make games anymore is because if you focus on one thing, you can make that thing the best, right? But if you start to put half your energy towards this and then half your energy towards making games and half your energy towards whatever, I think that hurts the whole brand as a whole. So I think that's why they don't make as games anymore. They are making games, but they don't make them as much as they did before, right? They made the game, made the money, then invested the money, made the platform and said, hey, we have to build this platform up. Now they built the platform up and the platform is making a shit ton of money. Look at Epic. Epic was making video games left and right. But then they made Fortnite. It took them 8 years to make Fortnite. Fortnite came out and bombed. But then they switched to Battle Royale, and Battle Royale made so much money from them, they shifted. They shifted their whole business model, okay? Made the launcher, started making movies, started selling or using the Unreal Engine to promote to everybody else. Their whole business model changed. They're willing to lose money in their launcher because they're making so much money from Fortnite, from microtransactions, from battle passes, for whatever, right? So I think Steam, and what you're asking is, if they made these things, would they implement them in their own games? I think they would. But at the same time, like he just said, they did bring loot boxes in, right? So again, don't blindly love a company because they could change on you in a heartbeat.
When you have a company that small with that strong a leadership, that doesn't just disappear overnight. That doesn't disappear when Gabe Newell leaves the company. Yes, I know we have a 62-year-old man that basically has the health and fairness of the entire video game industry weighing on his shoulders, but he doesn't really take me as the kind of guy that would just walk off and leave somebody else to burn it down. You're likely going to pick somebody that's going to be a solid successor.
You would hope.
So, yeah. Man, these publishers have to hate Steam. They are stomping all over every single dirty little nasty trick they want to pull, and they're not going to get away with any of it.
If Steam wasn't as powerful as they were, or in the monopoly in the PC space, and these like Activision wanted to do what they did, or Ubisoft not showing player count, then they would get away with it. But because Steam is so big, they call the shots. And right now, the shots are good for us, the consumer, because they can call out the bullshit tactics.
Unless they want to make money. If you want to make money, you better be on Steam. Anyway, hope you guys enjoyed the video. I enjoyed it. Thank you guys for watching. Share the video. Subscribe to the channel. Follow me on Twitch. Like the video. Comment on the video. Follow me on Twitter. That is all I have for you today. Stay cool, stay righteous, stay safe. I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.
Good video. I like his stuff. Pumps it out a lot quick. Must be just writing the entire time. Legendary Drops information is in the description down below. Make sure you click it. Hit that like button. Hit the subscribe button over on his channel if you like his stuff. We always put the all the information down below. He says this dude looks like Lono. Does he? I mean, that's like saying that all white dudes look the same, all black dudes look the same. Why? Because he's got a beard and glasses? I guess. I guess maybe if he spoofed up his hair, maybe. I guess, yeah, I guess he could be. I mean, he's only about 20 years younger. Isn't Legendary Drop in his like 20s? He's like mid 20s, isn't he? Late 20s? Lono like 42? Bizarro Lono. All right, let's go with the next story. Let's go with Captain America. I don't know if we're going to watch the Decade Bad MMOs, because that video is 26 minutes. It's already 11:30. So let me bring up Box Office Mojo here and show you what's happened with this. Okay. Captain America, Brave New World. Guys, like what we do here, we just cover news stories, have conversations. If you like it, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. If you'd like to go above and beyond that, become a member as little as $5. Captain America Brave New World will end its global box office run amongst the MCU's lowest grossing movies. Okay? Again, we said this before the movie even came out. We said that the movie doesn't look very good. Give it the smell test, give it the visual eye test, and said, not going to do very good. Okay? I said it'll probably make about $450 million, and I was completely wrong. It only made $371 million, and it's done at the box office. They're going to pull it. As of this weekend, it made a combined total of $7 million, almost $8 million. And then yesterday or Monday, it made less than $1 million. So it dropped below $1 million on March 6th at 932,000. It's on 3,480 theaters now. It started off in 4,105 theaters, which is also about 200 to 300 theaters less than most normal Marvel films entering. It wasn't there. Okay, so Captain America: Brave New World will end its global box office run amongst the lowest. Okay, this weekend, Mickey 17 opened at 53.3 million worldwide. So results. So the sci-fi comedy starring Robert Pattinson has also not been in the best of starts in theaters this year. And Captain America: Brave New World similar underperformed over the past few weeks, having grossed 9.2 million during the third weekend overseas. The MCU movie momentum is slowing down. However, it nearly reached 200 million at the international box office with 194.2 million in total. Okay, combined with the 176.6 million from North America, Brave New World has reached 370.6 million. Okay, now the analysts predict the final worldwide gross between 405 and 440 mil. Hey, I'm pretty close. If it ends up at 440 mil, I was only 10 million off. Pretty good for being an armchair warrior. Okay. For Where the Lands, The Falcon and Winter Soldier follow-up will ultimately rank amongst Marvel Studios' lowest earning titles. The Marvel is also Studios' biggest flop, having only made only 206 million in total. Captain America: Brave New World looks like it ended up somewhere between Eternals 402 million and Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings 432 million and Thor 449 million. Two of those were released during the pandemic, and Thor was also Marvel Studios' earliest movies way back in 2011. It says, quote, all I say is that we also working very hard to be passionate about the movie we made, filmmaker Julia said. A negative reception of the movie last month. He told the story in the way that he also feels excited about the very satisfied with. Hey, you know what? I've said this before. If you work on a film, right? I worked in the film industry for 20 years. I worked on stuff that I thought I did a fantastic job. I was very happy with the work that I did. But that movie or TV show or whatever bombed for whatever reason, right? But I felt good about my stuff, and I said, you know what? I'm going to put that on my resume. There's times that I was like, you know what? I don't feel good about the movie. I don't feel good about my work, right? And I said, I don't want my name on the credits. And you give them a name, you put a different name on, okay? And that is what you do, or I leave it off my resume for the next thing I do. Okay, as long as you're happy with the stuff that you produce, cool. Sometimes you're gonna get people that like it. Sometimes you're not gonna get people that like it. I stream every day, right? I make the content that I make. Some people like it, some people don't like it. But at the end of the day, I'm happy with what I'm making, right? So every single one of these movies will be maybe because of was so out of there in terms of some of the controversial conversations people perceiving certain things, certainly. But I don't think that's also the truth and reality of it, he added. In reality, important thing for me is experience an audience gets to have enjoying the story. What are your predictions of Captain America: Brave New World, the final box office? Okay, in Captain America: Brave New World, after meeting the newly elected U.S. President Thaddeus Ross, played by Harrison Ford, Marvel Cinematic Universe debuted Sam Wilson finds himself in the middle of the international incident and has discovered the reason behind the nefarious global plot before the true mastermind has also an entire world seeing red. Okay, that's just talking about, so that's just talking about the movie plot itself. I got to watch the first 40 minutes because it was on YouTube, okay? I watched the first 40 minutes, and I have to say, I was entertained in the very beginning. Like, the very opening of the movie was actually pretty good. But then it just kind of got, like, I feel like I'm watching Sam Wilson, okay, played by Anthony Mackie. I feel like he's a mix of Iron Man and Captain America, but he is Falcon, right? He doesn't fit in one or the other. It's just weird. Okay. I don't think it's a terrible movie, what I saw for the 40 minutes, but it's not flying. No pun intended, right? It's just not good. Overall, the production value and the quality of the films are not as good as they were before. Now, there were bad films in the past 15 years of Marvel, but they were still better than the best films that are done in the last 5 years in Marvel. Okay. So 371, it says it'll probably end up around 430, which overall, I think it lands in between exactly what we said. If you go back a couple of weeks ago, what we were talking about, where we think Captain America: Brave New World would land in the overall, we said between like Quantum Mania and like the Marvels, I think it was. And so this is going to lose about 200 million, if not $300 million for Marvel Studios. Now, again, we've had a conversation about this in the past, like Inside Out 2, and Moana 2 and Deadpool and Wolverine made so much money last year that they could have had 10 flops, but those 3 films made so much money. Okay? At the end of this year, I forget what movie's coming out at the end of this year. I think it's not Zootopia. It is Zootopia. I think it's Zootopia 2, right? And something else, right? And then you have Avatar. Avatar, it'll clean up the mess. Okay? Avatar's going to make $1 billion, $1.5 billion. So if there's movies that came out like Captain America: Brave New World, like Snow White, which we're about to have a conversation about as well, okay? Avatar's 3rd film will clean up the mess because these lost so much money, that'll make it break even, right? Pretty good, though, I have to say, where it's less than 400 million, but after it's all said and done, it'll probably be around 400 million. I'll be off about 50. They said about 430, 440 million, but we'll see. Let me know what you think. Did you guys watch Captain America: Brave New World? Do you think this is not good? Do you think it's not fair of what happened to the film? Let me know in the comment section down below. Let me know in the live chat. Did you guys see the movie? Did you like it? Did you not like it? Are you looking forward to the rest of the Marvel Cinematic Universe? Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. If you like what I do here, check out some of our other videos. Thanks for watching. Let's see. Crowd says, I'm kind of over Avatar. You might be over Avatar, but the regular consumer, right? I mean, Fast and Furious has got 10 films. Avatar's got 2. The average consumer likes Avatar because it just tells a simple story and people like it. And that's the market it's going for. All right, let me see what you guys are saying up here a little bit. Jason says a story that sucked in the comics didn't do well at the box office. Anyone surprised? No. Pedro Pascal needs to do his own storefront. El Dente says Brave New World would have worked better if they didn't just post Red Hulk in the entire time. I don't even think it Red Hulk. I mean, they showed the treasure before the movie came out, which should tell you everything about it. They completely changed the whole movie. They did reshoots and everything else. They didn't know what they were doing. The movie that came out originally, or they were going to put out originally, is completely different than the end film here. So that's another problem, just like video games. When you make a game and then reboot it, and then reboot it again, and then reboot it again, it's a husk of what it was, right? Rokill says, just because they made a comic book about Falcons turning into Captain America doesn't mean it's going to be good. A movie, they learned that lesson. Did they learn the lesson? I don't know if they learned the lesson. I still don't think they learned the lesson. Bomb after bomb after bomb with the last things. I'll tell you what, man. The Fantastic Four is going to be. It could be the soft reset for the fans, for the industry, for the MCU, or it could be devastating. Right? If Fantastic Four does good, I'm thinking it does around, without seeing anything, right? Haven't seen the movie, saw a trailer. If it does around 660 million to 700 million, 800 million, that still doesn't win over everyone, right? Because Guardians of the Galaxy and stuff did that. Black Panther 2 did that. But it's in good light if it does that, all depending on what the movie does and where it leaves the keys jangling at the end of Fantastic Four, if it leads into the next thing. Could they do a soft reboot of the MCU? And I don't mean like bring back all Cap and everything like that. What I'm saying is, can Fantastic Four be that reset that people are like, oh, finally a good Marvel film again? Sarge says Pedro should own a paint store. Pedro Pascal's Pastels. Roadkill says, in Anthony Mackie is normal human, never had anything. How the hell is he fighting a Hulk? And I don't care about the vibranium you got. That's a thing that also, I didn't watch the whole film, Roadkill, and I don't want to spoil it for anything. But it seems like literally plot armor and armor itself is that, well, I don't want to take the serum, but I'm using the vibranium and I can do everything they can do without being a superhero. It kind of defeats the purpose of being a superhero. If you're just everyday man, but you have special armor on. Now, Iron Man, completely different, right? Because of the story of him and how he did it. He's a super genius, made his own suit, has the reactor, made all. What did Anthony Mackie do? I'm sorry, Sam Wilson do? Right? He was handed the shield. He was handed the vibranium. He was handed the suit. He was handed this. He was given. He didn't do shit. He didn't do shit. Always says that Captain America, like trying to convince you it's Captain America. They failed bad. Yeah. Titan says, I want to rewatch Avatar 1. Need to refresh my memory. Papa says the regular consumers like crap. If that's the market you're going for, then go for it, right? If you're going for gearheads, then make a gearhead movie, right? If you're making a video game movie, make sure you go for the video game guys. They had no faith in the movie. The villain ain't the Red Hulk. Yep. I will give you that the entertained, just not enthralled. Right. It was good. It just wasn't for the half the movie I saw. It was good, but it wasn't great. Altern says, for you, is Captain America / Falcon for China's red silhouette versus Red Hulk? What's going on, Ghost Fixer? Somebody named the movie that everyone thought was good besides Deadpool and Wolverine. Everyone seems to entitle, I'm not the actor or producer. Every movie that comes out has been getting bombed lately. Not true. Not true. Wolverine and Deadpool did very well. Didn't get shit on. I would have to go back and look at other movies, but it's not true that all movies that come out are being hated. That's not true. It might seem that way, and that's because people are bored with the Marvels, or they were bored with the Eternals, Shang-Chi. Storytelling is huge, right? Shang-Chi, I'm telling you, I said it back when I reviewed it, Shang-Chi would have been a better movie if it wasn't about Shang-Chi. If it was about Win-Wu, okay, that movie would have been 10 times better. Like the origins of that. And then Shang-Chi could have been the second movie. But instead, they tried to force you with this character, and the story was just bad. The third act was terrible, right? Black Widow's movie was late by 5 years, and the plot was terrible. The Thunderbolts is not going to do much better. The Thunderbolts comes out in what, 1 month? Not going to do much better. Month and a half? Eclipse says, I mean, that the people are tired of their crap. I mean, look at Daredevil. Apparently, it's one of the lowest watched shows, and the people are saying that it's good. You know why? It's just being watched because no one cares. Disney has killed 2 franchises, right? Not only has Disney killed Star Wars, but they're slowly killing Marvel. How? How? El Dente says the I should have taken the serum is the plot point in the movie and the show. Yeah, it's over and over. It's the same fucking thing. Not only did they waste the entire first season of Falcon and Winter Soldier, if I'm not Cap, and then it's the same thing in the movie. It's like, get over it, man. Like, move on. Lucas Rodriguez said it worked for Batman. What worked for Batman? That he became a vigilante and he's a billionaire and he's a martial art, and they have a backstory of what happened. What's Sam Wilson's backstory? That he needs a loan? Like the backstory for Cap, we know. What's the backstory for Sam Wilson? What do I care about his story? Right? Tony Stark was in a cave, captive, created the iron suit. There's something attached there. Steve Rogers, what he was to what he is, right? We know the backstory. What did Sam do? He was handed a shield, and he has to help his family get a loan. Amazing. That's what I'm looking forward to. The hate gets amplified and repeated. The good takes dismissed before it even gets before it gets a hold. Ghost Fixer says, I haven't watched any of the new Marvel movies years, starting with the Star Wars as well. Lost faith in both of them of late. Sarge says, because Disney is chasing money instead of telling complete stories with characters. Al says, just drink the syrup, Mackie. Sam was a Marine, I believe. I may be wrong. What I mean is the Bruce also doesn't have powers. Correct. But Rodriguez, you do know the difference between Batman and Falcon, correct? What is the thing that they've told? I don't want to know what the story is of Falcon from the comics. What did Marvel, the movies, the MCU, teach you about Falcon, Sam Wilson's character? What did he do? Bruce saw his parents die and wanted revenge. He's a billionaire he's a billionaire kid that wanted revenge until he grew up and then trained his entire life so he can get revenge on criminals in the city. Right? And when he gets injured, he gets injured. Hell, even in the Nolan films, right? I hated the one where Bane was there and he broke his back. I was like, Batman was in the film for I think 4 minutes total. He was in the film for 4 minutes. He was in the military test flying unit and then became a counselor for military people. Amazing. Amazing. Right? Sam Wilson was a pararescue. Tough guys, but far from badass. Al dente, but it's also off screen. I don't feel attached. Right? Because they told shitty stories. You're not attached to Sam Wilson. He needs help changing the battery in a smoke detector. The man who comes to change it works for a secret government agent and invites him. Here's the worst part. Are you ready for this? I don't even know the character's name. They have a character in the film. Okay, a character in the film that was part of the Black Widow, right? Where Black Widow was, right? And you already know, like, the character was terrible, right? But you already know the story of what they've gone through in that group. You know nothing about Sam besides that he was in the military. He was always great supporting character, not a leader. Right? Great supporting character, not a leader. And I'm not talking about the comics. I'm talking about what they've done with the character in the films of MCU. Okay? And no backstory whatsoever. Everything that he has, it was handed to him. Everything. El Dente Altern says, superhero material right there, military counselor. That's it. El Dente says, this is a Destiny 1 story. It's all for the lore. This isn't what I'm currently looking at. Dolphin says, I had one more existing backstory than I had a more exciting backstory than Sam Wilson. I liked Falcon before he became Captain America. Nate, because the character that they wrote for Falcon in the MCU was a great supporting character. Oh, I don't care about the real pararescue guys. What did they tell you about the guy in the film? They told you nothing. You know nothing. He didn't struggle, right? And I don't care that Captain America, the new Captain America, needs a business loan and he can't get one. Because that's what Falcon and Winter Soldier was. Poor me. Nobody thinks I'm Captain America and I need a business loan and I can't get one. The end line of the whole series is, you got to do better, Senator. You've got to do better, Disney, because your storytelling sucks balls on this character. Rodriguez says, I can't argue on how interesting the story is. My argument was against then don't having powers. Again, if he doesn't have powers, that's cool, but what's the backstory of him? Why is he next level? You know why Black Widow's next level? Because she went through fucking torture for 15 years. She was kidnapped when she was a kid. He was in the military. So anyone, right? Everyone, right? Even the guy that's in the film with him that takes over Falcon's role, Torres, right? Nothing special. It's just guys wearing wingsuits going around. The difference is he's got vibranium. Great. So anyone can be a hero as long as they have vibranium suits on. That's not very special. That doesn't say, oh, wow, that's cool. Altern says, we need a character saying, I don't have time to explain what I don't have time to explain. Then hands Sam a super serum. Yeah. Like, look, I don't have time to explain what I don't have time to explain. Just take this goddamn serum and shut the fuck up. Eclipse says, I mean, they had a whole show that was based on him, and they barely developed his character. That's right. Shitty storytelling. Titan says, double checking. We're fine with Sam Wilson as Captain America, but storytelling and executing is not good. No, I would say that I would be okay with Sam Wilson being Captain America if he had, I guess more of a story. Right? I'm okay with anyone being Captain America if they want to replace Captain America, right? But even what's his name? Stories. What's the older Captain America? He was in the movie too. I can't think of his name off the top of my head right now. The old guy that's in prison. What was his name? I can't think of his name. You'll say it in chat. Isaiah, right? Isaiah. His story is 10 times better as Captain America than Sam Wilson becoming Captain America, right? One, the story of Falcon's character in the MCU is failed by the writers of the staff of Disney. But the character itself, just in the films itself, there's no attachment to him. You have no attachment to Sam. Zero. Jason says, no, John Walker did nothing wrong. Crowded House says the super serum was the Vex the whole time. Rodriguez says he is the tech archetype with some acrobatics closer to Iron Man than Black Widow. His story, you have to have a story. You know what defines a good character compared to a bad character? The story. The reason people like Spider-Man is because of the story. The people like Iron Man now is because of the story. People like Wolverine because of his story, right? The backstories of these characters is what makes these characters loved or hated. If you have a guy that just like, I got my powers because I was, I was taking a shit on the toilet, and then boom, I got a radioactive came through the toilet. And you're like, oh wow, that's a cool superpower. You got radioactive because he sat on the toilet. Would you really like that guy? Probably not, right? But if he did something, has a backstory, has some sort of drama going through it, what is Sam Wilson's drama? What is his backstory? He was a superhero Falcon because he was good at what he did in the military. He was Falcon because he was part of the paratroopers because of that. But what's his story? That he doesn't live up to being Captain America as good as Steve Rogers because he doesn't have a serum? That's exactly right, Alente. I got my powers because my predecessor contract expired and I'm cheaper. That's the real reason. Marvel thought that, oh yeah, Chris Evans is out, we'll give it to him, right? And everyone's like, they should have gave it to Bucky. Bucky's story is much more appealing because he was Steve Rogers' best friend. He went through hell as well, okay? The drama in his head about being a bad guy, now being a good guy, would have been a much better thing than Sam Wilson going, I don't know if I can pay my mortgage on the boat my sister wants to open as a business. It's just bad overall. And the fact that they had to bring in Red Hulk to prop up, Captain America Brave New World is even worse. Right? Obviously they couldn't help but recasting, right? They could, mind you, they could recast Ross, but they couldn't recast T'Challa. Just put that in perspective, okay? They could recast Ross with Harrison Ford, but they could not recast T'Challa as Black Panther. Titan says, I'm fine with Bucky not being the new Cap and being in Thunderbolts. Sure. But he still would have been in Thunderbolts, right? How the fuck didn't he have any money to loan his sister? Because they don't get paid. He just did it out of the goodness of his heart. And then they probably got all their stuff taken. And because Tony's not alive, maybe he can't pay him. I don't know. Right? Thinking too far into it now, Dolphin. There was many scenes at the main bad guy that had him shrouded that almost like if he had committed, saved the Red Hulk for climax. I didn't see the rest of the movie, so right, going from one disaster for Disney to the next one. Okay, the next one. So this comes from Variety. Okay, Disney scales back Snow White Hollywood premiere amidst Rachel Ziegler and Gal Gadot's controversy. Now, if you guys don't know this, okay, this actress, Rachel Ziegler, is against Palestine, and Gal Gadot is for Palestine, okay, I believe, okay? So what they're doing now, because this girl can't keep her mouth shut, they stopped doing premieres, and she's not doing any touring for the movie. The movie comes out, right? And this is not even the stuff that happened to the movie before, right? This is just what's happening right now. the movie already has been under scrutinized. This is like the AC Shadows of the film industry right now. Okay, Snow White has been so scrutinized because of not using dwarves and using CGI, not making Snow White a white person because her right. They changed the backstory. There's no lore. Right? They changed a bunch of stuff. Crazy. Okay. So Disney is hosting Hollywood premiere of Snow White on March 15th, but the studio won't be rolling out a robust red carpet like it usually does. Okay. Which is crazy. This is the movie that started it all. Right. This Snow White is the original movie that started all of Disney. Okay. The after festivals will include pre-party screening at the El Capitan Theater in the stars Rachel Zegler and Gal Gadot, who plays the evil queen, expected to attend. However, the red carpet will not include dozens of media outlets usually invited by Disney and interview the cast and creatives at the premiere. Instead of coverage, will be limited to photographs of the house crew. The studio did not comment on the story and the scaled-back plans that come amidst the controversy surrounding the Mark Webb-directed film, which is also in theaters on March 21st. Okay. So some toxic Disney fans question Snow White being played by Rachel Zegler, even in casting the announced because she's a Latin actor. Okay, the West Side Story star also faced backlash when she called 1937 original dated because the prince literally stalks Snow White. Weird. Okay, in the interview with Variety D23 2 years ago, Zegler said she's not going to be saved by the prince. She's not going to be dreaming about the true love. She's dreaming about becoming a leader she knows she can be. Completely changing the entire story of what Snow White was. Remember that sticking to the lore, right? Okay. Peter Dinklage, which I always love this, right? He said something and people got upset because they're like, the little people got upset because he basically put them out of the job. I don't know if you know this. There's not many jobs out there for little people actors. Okay, so when a job comes around and one of the bigger actors in the little people area, Peter Dinklage, he spoke out about the movie's portrayal of little people, okay, for negative stereotypes. Literally no offense to anything, but I was sort of taken back, he said. On the WTF with Mark Moran podcast in January of 2024, he said, quote, "They were very proud of the cast Latino actress in Snow White, but they're still telling the story of Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Take a step back and look at what you're doing there." Telling a story of what the story was. It's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. I don't understand. Is anyone else confused? The story is called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Okay. Story following Dinklage's remarks, Disney said in a statement, Good Morning America, to avoid reinforcing stereotypes from the original animated film, called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs, and the original film was animated, by the way. We're now taking a different approach with these 7 characters and have been consulting with members of the dwarvism community. Okay? Ziegler reasons the backlash to the film is due to the passion of the original film. She said, quote, "I interpret people's sentiments towards the film as passion." She said in an interview with the March issue of Vogue Mexico, "What an honor to be part of something that people feel so passionate about, and we're always going to agree with everyone who surrounds us, and also we can also do our best." Okay, independently translated from Spanish to English. Okay, it says world politics also have come up in Ziegler was promoted. Free Palestine. Okay. Oh, so it's the opposite. I said it before, where she's against Palestine, she's for Palestine, right? And Gadot, right? And social media at the same time, Gadot, who's Israeli, has also become outspoken supporters of Israel on social media, as well as in a passionate speech she delivered on March 4th when she was also honored at the Anti-Defamation League of Annual Summit in New York City. Never did they imagine that the streets of the United States and different cities around the world would also see people not condemning Hamas, but also celebrating, justifying, and cheering for the massacre of Jews, she said in a part. Gadot was also stayed away from politics in the past, but she said that this is felt that she needed to speak up after October 7th Hamas attack. Okay, in February, several dozen pro-Palestine protesters gathered outside the Hollywood premiere of Captain America: Brave New World and called for the boycott of the film and the inclusion of the Israeli superhero Ruth Bat Safara, a.k.a. Sabra, played by Israel actress. That's the girl from Brave New World. Okay. MAGA supporters also blasted Ziegler for the reaction of Donald Trump's re-election when she posted Instagram in part, "May Trump supporters and Trump voters and Trump himself never know peace." So just let you know, that's what the actress of a movie that she wants you to go see thinks about you. If you think different than her, she wants to make sure that you never know peace. It's very nice. Very nice of the actress to do. She apologized for her remarks 2 days later. Sure she did. Okay. Quote, Snow White publicity plans to have already included Godot and Ziegler presented together in the Oscars, followed Ziegler's making a promotional appearance in Tokyo. Ziegler and Webb also visit Spain in the movie, followed by Ziegler's hosting screen in the New York City Broadway community. Godot was on Good Morning America on Monday in support of the movie, but they're never together, right? Never together because they have two different viewpoints and they can't get along, right? Because, reasons. The official trailer for the film has generated 11.8 million views on YouTube since the debut 3 months ago. Okay, what they don't tell you here. Okay, what they don't tell you here is how many. let me bring it up real fast. Let me bring it up because I got to use my. I got to use the Chrome extension, otherwise you won't be able to see it. But let me show you what the Snow White trailer. Right, this is not good. Right, if you're a business, right, White trailer. This is the official trailer 12 months ago. Let me see how many dislikes it has. 3 months ago. This is 3 months ago, not 12 months ago. Okay. So I don't know if you guys will be able to see this. Big for you guys in the back. Let me make it nice big. Okay. That's 53,000 likes. And that's 1.5 million dislikes. Right? That's on Disney's 6 million subscribers. 1.5 million. 12 million views, by the way. 12 million views. 1.5 million dislikes. This movie right now is not doing very well. The pre-order sales, they just started selling tickets 10 days before. They're not selling out. One of the theaters over here, let me see if I can show you, which is one of the bigger theaters, which is connected to downtown Disney Springs. Okay, so let me get to Fandango real fast. Let's see, Snow White. Pre-sales now. Let me find the actual theater down at City Walk. Or not City Walk. Disney Springs. Right? Theaters in general are not putting them in the majority of the theaters because it's just not selling very well. So this is the dining. It comes out on, when's the actual release date of this? Hold on one second. When's the actual release date for Snow White? March 21st. Okay, March 21st. Let's go to March 21st. Let's go down to the big theater, because this is a big theater for them. This is one of their most popular theaters. We'll go into the, 7 p.m. on opening day. Okay, this one's pretty good. It's not sold out yet, right? But they're not making a big production over at Disney Springs, which is very strange for Disney to do. Okay, as a local here, anytime a brand new movie comes out, this is the biggest theater that you can get inside this place. Okay, and for the most part, it's pretty solid. It's not sold out yet for pre-order tickets. Okay, some of the seats. Let's go to the standard theater at 7 p.m. That was the Dolby Digital Type 1. Okay, so this should be selling out already. This should be sold out. Okay, maybe it sells out by the time it comes out in 10 days, 8 days. Okay, but there's so much drama behind this thing beforehand. Sort of, it almost feels like AC Shadows, right? Getting shit on before it comes out. But this movie's going to bomb, which is sad, considering this is where it all started. Disney started with Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. And the trailer looks, it looks okay. I don't know why you're making live action stuff, I'll be honest with you. They could have just re-released the original. I think it would have made more money. At this point, I think this might be the biggest box office bomb that Disney has which again, it's not anywhere near the pre-order sales that they want. It's not anywhere near I think it's at 53 million, which would be awful if it came out at 53 million for Snow White, the Seven Dwarfs, or I'm sorry, Disney's Snow White. It's just called Snow White now. It's not called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. But we'll see what happens, right? I predict that this movie, opening weekend, I'm going to say makes less than 50 million. Less than 50 million in about 8 days. We'll see. And obviously, if it sells well more, they'll tell you that it's above expectations or whatnot. But if it doesn't do over 110, 150, $200 million, this movie is going to bomb because it not only was delayed by 2 years, okay, they're well over budget because of this, because they had to go back and refilm a whole bunch of stuff because they actually were going to use regular humans inside the Seven Dwarfs. All just different. They look like hipsters, right? And then they said they were stand-ins, but that wasn't true. And now they went back to CGI. Okay, so because they did all this, the skyrocketed price went up for Snow White, and they're not going to make their money back. This has to make about $200 million in its opening weekend to even have a chance of making its money back. But I think it's going to make less than $50 million. But these are just my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comment section down below. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section down below. I'll see you guys on the next one. All right, let's see here. Alternate says, Ross, a character that has also been played by the same person for almost 15 years, was replaced by 4, but the brand new character that only had 3 movies couldn't be replaced. Yeah, it's weird when you recast people and don't recast certain people. This movie was a write-off. That's a big write-off. That's a big write-off. You usually write off like 50 million, right? $50 million movies and stuff like that. Not a 200. How much? Let me see what the budget for this one was. Snow White's budget, $209 million right now, but they're actually saying it kind of blew up more to 240 to 269 million. Okay, so we'll see. It's gonna be rough. It's gonna be rough for them to make their money back. Clip says a trailer has a crazy dislike ratio. Yeah, it's crazy. 1.5 to 53. 53,000 likes. 1.5 million dislikes. Like, what? That's crazy. And I didn't even know it, right? On my thing, I didn't have a thumb up or thumb down. The clip says the one that thinks that Snow White is too hot and needs to be ugly. There's no prince in the commercial I saw. There is a prince, but they don't have in the 2 years ago when she gave the interview, he didn't have a big part. I think they gave him a bigger part now, but I'm not sure. El Dente says, I remember seeing her take, and I'm like, then why not make it an original story? Weird. I don't know. It's weird. Weird. Robert Jones says, one of the big people of the little people. Right. Can you imagine Peter Dinklage? He thinks he's better than everybody else. Right. There's still people that are playing like the Ewoks and stuff like that. He's like, I'm too good to play a dwarf. Right. And the movie's called Snow White and the Seven Dwarfs. Like, how dare you put little people? What do you want us to do? Do you want me to take a job from you? Like, it's not very many people that, I mean, they put Hugh Grant in the new Charlie and the Chocolate or Willy Wonka movie. They made him the Oompa Loompa, right? Congratulations. That's another job that you didn't give to someone that could have got a job. Jason says Dinklage is a scumbag for that. He costs people roles. Yeah. Oh, then he says, you know what they could have done? Snow. Also, 14 giants. Get people with like swap it up. Yeah, that's it, El Dente. Instead of making dwarves, you make giants instead. Snow White and the 7 giants. Eclipse says, I mean, I love Peter, but what's funny is he got known for being a dwarf character from a book. Yeah. Yeah. He's too good for that, though. Right? Good actor, but literally shoved his foot in his mouth. Bring on the box office, vote with your wallets. It's going to happen. No one's going to go to the theater. Well, when I say no one, the majority of people are not going to go to see this movie. That ratio shows how much we want DEI and stuff. That's right. These studios need to start holding these actors responsible for sabotaging their movies. They should probably put it in contractually, House. They should probably put it contractually into their where they make this much money if they don't say anything, and if they fuck it up for the movie, then they don't receive any of that money. They should 100%. Imagine in let's look at Avowed's situation, right? With Mark, what was his name again? Hansen, right? Matt Hansen, right? If he got paid based on what he just did and they deduct him pay because of the stupid allegations that he did, or not allegations, or the stupid comments that he said, he wouldn't say those things. Okay? If you're an actress or an actor and the whole thing revolves around you represent that film until it comes out and after. Okay? If you say something stupid, you should get reprimanded and not get paid. That should go into their contract, 100%. Especially now with social media and the way it is. Now, obviously, that shouldn't be known to the public, but it should be in the contracts because then people would try to bait them. You know what I mean? To try to get them not where they don't make the money. Just stay quiet. If you don't have anything nice to say, don't say anything at all. Also, Ziggler appearances never bothered me. She's just an annoying little twat. Kudapapa says, if you're looking for someone's sex and race is bad, DEI breaks U.S. federal laws on non-discrimination. Dolphin says, that's racist. Hugh Grant, little guy. That's right. Robert Jones says there's a good form of DEI, but lots of people are using it in the wrong. Even used right, it can be cause a preserve. Yeah, no, people are using it in the wrong in wrong things, but there are things like that. Robert Jones, Leon says, how can racism be used right? No, racism is racist, right? All people can be racist. Is there racism? Yes, right? But telling people that they can't get jobs so these people can get jobs, racist, right? Right? You can't get a job because we have to get these people jobs. That's racist. You should be on what you do. Best person for the job. Right now, the big drama that's going on right now is with the Harry Potter, the casting for Snape. That's a huge thing that's happening right now, right? HBO says they're going to be book accurate, and the first thing they do is cast a black man for Snape. Like, I feel like John Travolta, like, going to be book accurate. Okay. I don't know what's going to happen there. Again, I'm not a huge Harry Potter fan, so I enjoyed the movies in the past. I'm not going to fend for it or fight against it. It's just a bold move, Cotton. Let's see what happens. Bold move. We're going to be lore accurate. Oh, you didn't know that? Hey, did you not see who they're casting? Did you not see who they're casting? Let me show you. And I'm just going to tell you right now, if you think this is wrong, you're racist, right? If you think this is wrong, you're racist, even though you're not. Oh, I got to put this in my other program. Hold on one second, because I don't want to bomb you with the white screen of death over here. Now, let me. Okay. This is the new Snape. I think it's almost official. He's playing Snape. I mean, look, it's uncanny. Uncanny. Look how much he looks like him. He looks exactly. I mean, they could be twins. The casting of this role is just phenomenal. I bet you can't even tell. I bet you can't even tell who actually played Snape first. Was he in the movie originally, or was he in the original movie? I can't tell. I can't tell. They have a pic of him in the greasy hair, don't they? I don't know, do they? I just typed in Harry Potter casting. What does Snape look like in the books? He's described, and a picture was shown of him, and he's white, he's milky, he's I think the word they used like slate, like a white slate. They used his teeth are yellow, milky. They say his nose is very pointy. Now I've said this. I said maybe this character is the best person for the role. But are they going to put prosthetics on him to make him look like the character in the book as he's described? I don't know. Right? If Colin Farrell can turn into Penguin, then maybe he could turn into Snape. I don't know. It's just a little weird. Again, if he got the role because he's the best actor and he portrays the part the best, and then they make him look like what he's described in the book, awesome. Right? I don't know if they are. I don't know if they're gonna make him. I don't know if they're gonna make him like the white chicks. You know what I mean? When the Wayne brothers went and put makeup on. I don't know. I would be okay with that if Robert Downey Jr. can play a black guy. Now, obviously, the character that he's playing, he's an actor who was a method actor that became a black guy. Okay, which was the funny part about it. Okay, but if you could put prosthetics on him to make him look like the character in the thing, and he's the best actor, then by all means, then do that. But it's a little weird. It's a little weird. It is going to come across a little weird if you guys ever read the books. Like Harry Potter's father hangs Snape from a tree. And he picks on him because he looks different. Comes across a little different now. Because now you make Harry Potter's father a racist. And if that's what they're going for, cool. Titan says people are outraged. Easily wait and see. That's why I said I'm not outraged, Titan. But what's funny is that they said that they're most accurate to the book, and one of the first castings we know about Dumbledore, and now this is the second casting. It's like one of the top 3 castings. We're saying truthful to the book, and then you cast a black gentleman as Snape. And Snape is one of the only characters described in the book in the way he is as a white guy. So how can you be faithful to the book and yet do this? Yeah, Lily rejected Snape. Yep. If Robert Downey Jr. can play a black guy in Tropic Thunder, no, it's completely different, Nate. And the fact that you don't understand the difference in a comedy where the white guy who's playing a black guy and everybody knows that it's a white guy playing a black guy is completely different than casting this guy in the character of Snape. That's right, House. In the book, Snape gets hung in the tree, upside down, by his ankles. But it comes across a little different. I mean, it would make Snape more sympathetic, I guess. How? Him being ugly, like he's supposed to be ugly. Like the actor that played Alec Rickman, who played him originally, wasn't ugly enough. Now this gentleman, right? What's his name? Papa, right? He's a GQ model. Not only did you cast maybe the best guy for acting, but he's the best. He's a really good looking guy. He's literally a fucking supermodel. And you got him in playing the ugliest character. And this is why I think maybe they use prosthetics. They got to make him ugly because he can't play the role in the way he looks. And I'm not talking about his skin color. I'm talking about he looks immaculate. He's a good-looking dude. He's supposed to be one of the ugliest dudes out there. So if he puts a prosthetic suit on and they make his face look bad and they make him look like an ugly Snape and they're most authentic to the book, then I think all this goes away, right? I think that all of this goes away. Adrian Brody should have played him. People are saying Adam Driver should have played him. I don't know. I think he's a little too big because he's supposed to be really scrawny and thin. Right. Like he's got to be thin. Now, obviously, the actor that played him before wasn't as thin, but he's described as like sickly. You know what I mean? Like he's thin. He's ugly. He's got a pointy nose and stuff. Think of like a witch type of thing. So if they're going to do the more authentic thing, right? If they do the most authentic thing, and again, if he got the job because he's the best actor, then by all means, give him the job. But if you're going to keep him the way he is, it's going to come across a little weird. Titan says, I can play Snape. This is why I'm not jumping the gun and be like, oh, he can't play. I'm like, all right, well, I mean, Colin Farrell, even though he's not a black dude, he's also not a guy who looks like Penguin. But look at what the prosthetics do. Prosthetics, you would think that was a normal guy until you told that Colin Farrell was there. Most people still didn't know that was Colin Farrell that played the Penguin, right? So we've come a long way with makeup and whatnot. So it'd be interesting to see what they do. I'll tell you what. If he does put prosthetics on and plays Snape, I guess it's on TV, so he can't win an Oscar, but he can win an Emmy. He would win for Emmy. It's almost like playing, if you play a gay character or a handicap guy, playing a character like this, going deep under makeup and whatnot, he could get nominated for something like that. Maybe that's why he took the role. Become more serious. Eclipse says, yeah, we'll see. I hope it's a good. I'm pulling for it because it's supposed to be more accurate to the books. Yeah, they said faithful to the books. So I'm thinking they're going to put prosthetics on the man. And we'll come back here. Okay? And I'll be the one that said, look, I've said it before. Now, people can look at that and go, what are you going to put, a black man in prosthetics? Yeah, if he's the right person for the job, if he's the best actor for the job, and he's willing to do that. But if he just stays as he is, it's going to be a little weird. Hell, I didn't even think about this. Maybe he doesn't even have to put prosthetics on, right? Maybe he's the best actor, and they just put the dots on his face, and then they CGI him as Snape, as the book-accurate Snape. Do that too. I mean, look at Avatar, right? It's not like we hired fucking blue people to be Avatar. He's not going to wear makeup. Look at accurate erasing his blackness. No, they might do the CGI type of stuff. CGI is getting pretty wicked, man. He says we can scream about the blackwashing of Snape, whiteface. I think they're going to do CGI. They have to do something. Wait till you figure out this will be nothing until they find the actual people that are playing Harry Potter, Hermione, and Ron. Okay, once they announce those three characters, everyone's like they're gonna race swap them. Delvin says, "Yeah, what the fuck? The Blue Man crew got snubbed from those Avatar roles." Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. I think everyone, like everyone said before, I think people like to blow things out of proportion. The problem is they came out and said book accurate, and they showed this casting, and everyone's like, I thought you said book accurate. And again, technology has come a long way, and you can change people without. So you can get the best person for the job, the best actor for the job. El Dente says Hermione's going to be a Filipina, Ron's going to be Jamaican, and Harry's going to be. uh, I'll be honest. I'm going to laugh. I'll laugh if all that happens. If that happens, El Dente, there's going to be a lot of people on YouTube making a lot of money. I'll tell you that. There's going to be people buying new houses and cars if that happens with the content they're going to be making. Mo says, "What the fuck are you talking about? He's acting with a suit. Didn't change him acting for what? Are you talking about, Mo?" I've said nothing about the actual actor. I've said literally on stream that if the guy's the best actor, he just has to. If it's book accurate, he can't be the color that he is. They have to do either CGI or they got to put makeup on him. You can't say book accurate. Lilo and Stitch trailer just released. They casted all Hawaiians in the movie on Hawaii. It's good. The blackness comment? Which one? Are you talking about me or someone else saying something in chat? The blackness comment with the suit. Acting with a suit didn't change him acting. Didn't change who from acting? I'm trying to scroll up to see who you're commenting to. Yeah, I don't know who you're talking to about. I think they're going to do CGI. I think they're going to do some sort of capture his body movements, capture his face, and then either CGI it. They did it to Luke Skywalker. They did it to a whole bunch of other things, or he does some sort of prosthetic stuff. Yeah, but it's acting. If they get accusing of erasing his blackness, crowded, it's acting. Like Dwayne Johnson played a crippled guy, right? Like English people play Americans all the time. Americans play British people all the time, right? It's acting. If you have the best actor for the job and they're playing a role, but if you're saying you're book accurate and there was no black, I mean, there was a black teacher. I forget the guy's name, right? He could have played that role, right? Again, I'm not a huge Harry Potter guy, so someone in the chat can tell me who the character was. Okay, he could have played that role. Right? I'm not the one that said that book accurate. Warner Brothers said book accurate. They said the Harry Potter show is going to be more book accurate, right? The most book accurate than the movie. It's going to be, meaning they're going more hardcore than what the movies couldn't do because in the TV show. I agree, Mo. I think the prosthetics would be cool. I would rather always do it in person practical than in camera. You know what I'm saying? Like I would rather him do prosthetics like Colin did with Penguin than doing the special effects with just the suit type of thing. But either way would work. I don't care what they do. I'm saying that the black actress put up a angry rant because a fan made a poster that covered her eyes. I mean, WTF. Well, people are going to rage bait and whatnot. Dolphin said I'm not going to watch it. I'll probably watch it. Give it a shot anyway. But then again, I don't watch it day one. You know, if I hear good things about it, then I'll probably watch it. Like I still haven't even watched Reacher. Reacher came out, and I love that show. Leo says here, I'm going to say what we are all thinking. No, he can't play Snape because he's black. Just like white actors can't play black characters. Yeah, that's what I've said. I said that in the very beginning, right? He can't play the character without changing his skin color. So if they use prosthetics and they use special effects, that would be fine, right? It doesn't matter if people say after the fact, well, they're whitewashed or whatever. Wicked, it happened for Wicked. It's called Fans Racist. I mean, she went from a black character, a black person, and played a green character, right? So that's a little different because you could get a white character or a black character. They still have to paint themselves green. Reacher. I haven't watched season 3 of Reacher yet. Painting yourself green for a character that's a witch, that's green. I mean, no one was outrageous for that. You took a character away from the Green Giant. They were giving more grief to the actress after the fact for some of the interviews and stuff. Not because I didn't really watch a lot of interviews from her, but I think they were giving more grief to the actress for what she said after the fact, not because of on screen. Again, if you're the best actor or actress for that role, then you should get the job. Just know that if I was playing, I don't know, Black Panther, okay, or I was playing Nick Cage, okay, or Luke Cage, right? If I was a big buff white guy that wanted to play Luke Cage, and I was the best actor for the job because they couldn't find a black actor to play that job, well, then I would have to conform or change my body to make Luke Cage what the comic book accurate of Luke Cage is, right? You would hope. Or get the second best guy who is that color to play that character. You know what I mean? Get the best person for the role. Brainchild says both actresses looked horrible. They didn't eat for an entire time they were filming. Oh, you're talking about in Wicked? Yeah, Ariana Grande got super skinny. Both are super skinny. I didn't even recognize her. I was like, that's Ariana Grande? Dolphin says first Gamora, now the wicked chick. What the fuck, Disney? He says, no, 30, get the worst guy that looks the part and along for the along for the message. Shitty actor, doesn't know. He's like, Luke who? Don't read the comics, don't read anything. Just cast the guy in there. Like, as a consumer, I have to at least look at the company and go, maybe they know what they're doing. And then when it comes out, they don't. You go, I don't know what the fuck. I mean, look at Warner Brothers. Like, with video games. You're like, hey, they know what they're doing. They make video games. And you're like, what the hell are you doing? How do you fuck this up so bad? And guess who it is? It's Warner Brothers. So. Oh yeah, Brain. I didn't think you were hating. Yeah, Ariana Grande looked so skinny. You see her in The Voice? I haven't watched The Voice with her on it. I guess I could look her up and what she looked like before. I mean, obviously, as she gets older, I feel like you change and whatnot. I'm not a big person to look at She looks completely okay. Hold on, let me see. Yeah, okay. So here, making sure everything on the screen's okay. Okay, so if you look at her here, right, good looking girl, and then you look at her here. I don't know if she got some sort of plastic surgery done or something, but she doesn't look the same. She still looks good. She's still a good looking girl, but she's definitely done something different. And she looks completely different. But people change, right? Because this picture of her there, she's probably like 21. And how old is she now? Yeah, she's 31. That's 10 years. It's 10 years. Yeah. Here's a picture. Let me see. Hold on. Again, this is no hate towards her. Okay, no hate towards her. Just showing you, right? 14 years. You're gonna change, but you can see it right here. In like, this is like when you started making money, and this is when she's a multimillionaire, obviously, right? 2022 to 2024. Between these 4 years here, she's changed dramatically in these 4 years. So from like her late 20s to her early 30s. She looks like she needs a liver transplant. Yeah, it's that's what Hollywood does to you. You gotta keep up. You gotta keep up in Hollywood. And this is me not making fun of her. Literally, you have to. Hollywood always wants you to. Hollywood constantly puts you down, right? Constantly puts you down. If you're an actress or an actor in front of the camera, and someone else is coming up and the hottest, latest, greatest person, you're not good enough. You don't look good enough. You can't get that role because you don't look good, right? They're constantly competing with each other, and what they don't understand is that they make themselves uglier and uglier as they get older. Right? You look at some of these people, and their faces are like, and they can't smile and whatnot. Crazy. They think they're doing it to get themselves the role. Oh, you would look great if you just did some Botox, do a little bit of this, and get a little bit of get your cheekbones put back. Right? I worked on a show called I Want a Famous Face. It's a reality show back in the day where kids, teenagers, right, were getting plastic surgery because they were not confident enough, or they were self-conscious, or they wanted to look like a celebrity, right? Crazy. Massive problems. Look at Kelly Clarkson. She said that she enjoyed being fat suddenly out of the blue. She's a model size. Oh, did she change? I mean, money helps. Money helps. Get to eat healthier and whatnot. Let's see. Oh yeah, she completely changed, huh? I mean, good for her. I'm trying to find well, she had a kid and whatnot. That changes your body. Here, this is a good comparison right here. Right, this is a good comparison. Right? Obviously she's a fucking teenager here, right? The teenager here. Now she's in her 40s. But look at her. So she went through a stage, and now she's eating and working out. She's healthy again. she might have felt good here, self-conscious wise, but she's healthy here. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see. I remember the show like that. That side effect is blindness. Crazy. She judges American Idol, and now everything comes. Was she a judge on American Idol? I thought she was a judge on The Voice. All right, I gotta change the thumbnail first because I don't have. We didn't do the Last Hope stuff. Let me get Brave New World in there. I know I have it. There we go. That's fine. All right, that's going to do it for us today. Body positivity goes right out the window when they finally lose weight. Right. Like, I'm beautiful the way I am. And then they lose 100 pounds. And then all of a sudden, like, oh, that was me back then. Change the... We didn't talk about the MMO stuff. We didn't talk about the MMO. Gotta take that down. That back in. We'll change the title a little bit later. All right, we'll be back tonight, 8 p.m. Eastern, for Shooting the Shit with Sarge. I don't know what we're playing. We might be playing Battlefield 1, or we might be playing Split Fiction. But we are playing something. So if you guys want me and Sarge to hang out with us as we play, come back tonight at 30 and Still Gaming on our other channel. And yeah, we'll be playing those games tonight. And then tomorrow we'll be back for the Daily Grind for the Thursday edition. And then tomorrow evening we're back for the Generation X Gaming podcast show, which is Thursday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern. You can also watch our past broadcasts on this channel. You can also listen to us or watch us over on Spotify, where all the past episodes are there in audio format and video format as well. I appreciate you very much. Please make sure you share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The Daily Grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty tuning daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the Daily Grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset to.
Real quick, I gotta come back. And I didn't see this before. Okay, Roadkill. Thank you very much for the super chat. I miss it, which has happened at 17 minutes into the show, and I missed it completely. He said 71 million PlayStation 5 sold. Good morning, everybody. I completely missed it. I want to make sure I thank you on stream. Appreciate you very much. Thank you very much for the super chat. I appreciate you. You guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Sunshine, rise and shine. The Daily Grind is here on time with gaming news and fun galore. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. We're nitty tuning daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Controller ready, headset 2, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Controller ready, headset 2, we've got the updates just for you. From late night streams to morning plays, we cover gaming all the ways. Laughs and news, our winning blend, the show review, our dearest friend. Comments rolling, chats alive, the daily grind, 5-star vibe. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases, tips and tricks, the daily grind, your morning fix. Good morning, sunshine, rise and shine. The daily grind is here on time with gaming news and fun below. We'll chat and entertain once more. The coffee's hot, the mic is on. Jump in the chat, let's have some fun. From pixels small to stories grand, we bring the magic to your hand. Tune in daily, don't you miss entertainment wrapped in bliss. From new releases,